Hello, welcome back to the another episode of 19. And Sean Boy Fishing.
Of two Canadian boys fishing, you mean? Or and two Canadian bros podcast?
Yeah, that too. Sorry.
I don't know
I'm
what you're talking about, but hey, wait, that
I'm
works
Sean.
for me, brother.
I'm Sean Boy, and that's Conflago.
All right, so what are we talking about today?
Today we're gonna talk about lakes and how we used to do it back in the day.
To do what?
How to find fish, where how we find it, and talk about another. Firstly, we be talking about the lakes where we go fishing, how we find it, the fish, our way, and
Okay, so basically, how to find fishing spots, okay, different lakes, different areas, how to get there, stuff like that, right?
yeah, and then another segment of the show, going to be talking about fish brain. Tells you how to post fish, your catches, and all that stuff. Where you go, you can click on top, say my area, and you see people fishes where the fish is, and then you click on the name of the lake, and then it shows you. You can say map or Google Map, either one you want, and then it will pop up, and you go right to the Google Map, and it tells you how many hours to get there or how many minutes.
What if they're in the middle of nowhere?
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
good
so
question. That's a good question.
so so basically, if they're in a flying fishing spot, you ain't gonna find it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Or if you're in a flying reserve, just
yeah,
say, then it's going to tell you that it's somewhere where it's not. Yeah.
yeah. So we used to walk to our local place back home.
Well, basically, when you're younger, you go where people who bring you,
Yeah, my dad brought me, your parents brought you, your grandparents, right?
and then you hear stories of where people went fishing when it wasn't in your usual lake. If you will go camping or stuff like that.
Like you did, right? Like that lake you went you go to your grandfather, but now you want to go back and see how much populated.
Well, what it was is I hear stories about them catching big pike. This lake that wasn't too far from where we were.
Yeah,
It was uh, what it was is they had a mill on that specific lake,
yeah,
and it killed all the fish. But now it's been like 50 years. Like I was young, and the mill was already shut down. So basically, the fish, came back. So I hear stories of people catching fish there again. So it's a definite place that I want to. I got that on my to do list. You know what I mean?
it's like the song came. It's like the song said, "The cat came back."
Yeah. Oh,
But
catfish, cat. Same,
yeah.
same crap,
So
right?
and then the other lake we went to 7 years ago. Yes, been that long.
Well, that other fish we went on, the other place we went on May Run
Yeah,
was was just the one we passed by because we were driving by and we noticed a boat launch. So we went there. We looked. Hey, why don't we try fishing here?
we got
That's
pike.
another thing too. Is like there's enough bush roads in this area that if you had side by side a 4-wheeler, little bike, even
Yeah,
those e-bikes now, you see that a lot on YouTube. There, these guys with these e-bikes, they go on these little trails.
yeah.
There's a lot of bush roads, right?
And then
The
and
only
then
thing is you got to be careful that some of these bush roads are still being used by these loggers, and you don't want to get run over,
and then
right?
and then I watched a lot of my friend Paul, right?
Yep,
Paul Etier from Fish On,
yep,
and some of these shows he parks his truck on the main road, and then the little trails where the loggers make, and then they're rough for your truck to go in. They're too rough,
yep.
so they go in there with their side by side, and then he mounted he welded a rack so to put the boat on top and keep the box empty for his gear. So you get to the spots and sometimes he doesn't know the lake is. and they're full like this of walleye.
Well, where I camp, you go west
You got one
down the
lake.
highway, and you don't have to go too far.
No.
And then it's there's a road, and it's a big U. It starts off really wide where you could drive through it, no problem. And then you come back around, it's really small,
Yep.
right? Like barely, like a truck would have trouble coming through, right? First time I went down the road, the other end of the road was with my dad because he had his Ford Escape.
Yeah.
It was nice and thin to go through that road. And the old Escapes, the one that looked more square.
Yeah.
The newer ones there that are all rounded and crap.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we went down that road. We found the one lake that I'm talking about, and then we found the other one. I said, "Well, hey, this might be a good one to get fish at." So what we did is we went there. You and I and the wife. We went there and we caught fish.
Yeah. We caught about a dozen pike.
Yeah.
And one walleye.
And don't forget about the rag. Don't forget about your rag, man.
No.
That was a hell of a catch there. Got that out of the lake.
It helped to clean the lake out the time.
Well, that's what you were doing. You're doing the being conservationist there, and doing your thing, doing your part for the environment.
Oh yeah.
You could tell the ladies, hey, I did stuff for the environment.
We hear and then I remember camping at Peter Long. Me and my brothers walk down out of the campsite, go down this trail, turn it one way, and you got a big hill. It's full of blueberries, and my dad called it Blueberry Hill. But no thrills.
Well, not for you.
No. So and then you got a little trail.
The bears had a thrill, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. So we had a little trail. We get there, you got a nice little. It's not a big lake. It's like a little pond. Man, you had monster pike in there.
Dude, I mean, you don't have to have a big lake to get monster pike.
No,
so,
I went.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So, and I threw my brothers were fighting over what lure to use because they were sharing a tackle box at the time. I wasn't. So I cast my line in, my Daredevil. I got a 4-pound pike.
Yeah.
Right away, first shot.
Yeah, well, just like when I went to Sudbury, go visit my cousin, his son turns around and says him and his buddy went to this lake in BC, right? If you don't know what BC is, behind Coniston. So it's an old set of train tracks, right? That they took the tracks out. And you go behind there, and there's on the sides of the train tracks, there's like little ponds.
Right.
And there's one there, it was a lake. It was fairly size, it's not huge, right? And we went there, and I came close to catching the pike. It hit my lure, but it didn't bite on it. You know what I mean? Guess it did. It wasn't a red devil or a yellow 5 of diamonds. Maybe that would have been different if I used that.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. But yeah, it was BC, man. Apparently, a lot of things happen in BC.
Well, I thought you were talking about behind Cannot.
No, it's behind Coniston. Everything happens behind Coniston and Sudbury. Well, they got a lot of bush there. A lot of bush. I mean, so people do all kinds of stuff. We went fishing for smelts, and in the river that comes out of Lake Wanapitei.
Yep.
Right? There's a little creek that comes out.
Yep.
Can't really call it a river. It's a creek.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was, again, it's like relying on people that are in the area to let you know, okay, where can we go fishing, right? Sometimes you listen to the old timers, right?
Yep.
Or AKA the elders, and they know because they'd been there, right?
It's like I go to Nighthawk, right? And I go down, you know that road, Peninsula Road,
Yeah.
where you babysit the tractors. So
Mhm.
you got the little gully down in the opening area, and you park your car on the side of the road, like a horseshoe, like a half moon. I mean,
Yeah.
and you go down the hill there, and you fish off there.
Past the gate.
No, not past the gate. Just
Okay.
wait before the gates.
No, the gate's on this side, but you go keep on going.
No,
No.
no, I don't pass the gates.
Okay. Well, no, I'm just saying there's a gate on this side,
Yeah, I know
but
what it is.
instead of turning right towards the gate, you keep on going straight towards the bush.
Yeah.
There's a trail, and it goes right to the lake.
Oh, I was told it was off limits.
Nope. That lake is fine. It's because you're not using the mine road. The only
Okay.
people that can use that mine road are the
If you-
people that have cottages there.
Okay.
Because the road there past that gate is owned by
Miners.
was Gold Corp, Newmont.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
Newmont anymore because they sold out there. See, I don't know
Oh,
if
they
they
sold the
sold
gate?
all their properties, but if they did, that's part of it. So there's that local company that bought all that
Oh yeah.
Newmont
Okay.
property.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
It started with Norm.
I think it's Norm. It's some dude. Some guy has lots of money.
Anyways, I
I
fished
don't
down
know
there.
exactly who wasn't part of that and whatever. I don't know. But all I know is Newmont doesn't own it anymore.
Okay. Oh, Newmont.
Or
Okay,
they're
Newmont.
not going to own it. But the only problem is, did he buy Kamkosha? What is it? Okay.
Because it is red.
Oh, okay.
Um.
So,
Yeah. So.
Kamkosha, right, which is in out by Kamoskosha there,
Yeah.
is an old mine, and their tailings were never set up properly.
Oh, okay.
So they got to be clean out there.
Right.
Newmont was spending millions of dollars out there to fix it, right? My neighbor used to work there, and he said you'd be walking in the parking lot, and there'd be tailings running through the parking lot.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and back then they used arsenic. They didn't use cyanide. They used arsenic. Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. I just laughed at something.
Yeah.
I just laughed at. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like if you go behind, you go on Gold Mine Road, and then you got Delnite.
Yep.
Okay. You got those nice houses, right? All those rich people, no, not rich, but people have large amount of money own those houses.
Yeah.
Right. The old Mayor Black, he's got a house out there. So you go further down the road, there's a yellow gate. And it's Arnor, aka, Buffalo Anchorite.
Mm-hmm.
They have properties out there. Okay. You go in, you go back to the end there, and they got tailings back there. And what's in the tailings? Arsenic.
Yep.
Okay? So a lot of these people, they work on well water, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Newmont and Newin went in there to fix the tailings. They had to go back the next year because it was leaking.
Oh sheesh.
Arsenic. Okay. Arsenic, if you don't know what that is, it's a heavy metal.
Okay, and it's bad for the water, right? And for the fish.
It kills you.
Okay, if it kills me, it kills fish too.
Mm-hmm. People would walk their dogs behind there.
Oh shit.
I would tell them, you don't want the dog to be back there. There's bears back there. Holes all over the place. I got pictures of I know I shouldn't there, but I have pictures of different areas in that area.
Oh.
And you know that lake we went to, got rock bass?
Yeah. McDonald Lake.
Back road?
McDonald Lake, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know that beach across the lake?
Yeah.
People went on? Okay.
And swam across, yeah.
Okay. No, they didn't swim.
No, well, I just
They trespassed on that property to get over the gate that's there to get in there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, not too many people go there anymore now that the beach is destroyed there.
Yeah. Well, I went with Kenny a couple of times to that lake, and we've seen 4-wheelers, trucks. I don't know. I don't know if people like you and I trespassing or your owners checking stuff out.
No, they don't go there. I
And
used to
then,
patrol. I used to patrol back there.
oh, okay. And then,
You,
the beach is right here, right on the side. And then on this side here, we seen. Remember that dock we seen? The old rusted dock, not rusted, but rotting dock.
yeah.
And there's like those shacks there, it's like it's falling apart.
Yeah, I think it was somebody's property and they just bought it.
And I was told
the old dome did that a lot. Like there's a lot of lakes and little creeks and stuff like that you can't go fishing in anymore. Not that you'd want to. There's a lot of lakes and creeks around here that have a lot of fish. Like, you know what I mean? Just like
Pearl Lake, Willing
when
Lake.
I was, and then when you're driving down the road, to get back on topic here, one good way to find where to go fishing is when you're traveling down the road, right? Hello, Lisa. So,
Hello.
when you're traveling down the road, getting to wherever we're going, like I was traveling to Chapleau one day.
And then between Chapleau and Joliet, right?
Okay. Yeah. Between exactly after Foliette, right? But before Chapleau, there's a dead cell area, which is about 50 kilometers. Used to be 50 kilometers long. Okay. About 50. Or something like that. So there's a rest area. So you go in this rest area where they got toilets and the camping area and stuff like that. They got this creek that runs in there. I mean,
yeah, Charmier.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. The Charmier Creek there.
Some people say Charmier.
So
it's like crappies, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's it. So,
and you got nice speckles in there.
That's what I was getting to. So I decided I was gonna look, and I seen the trout. I said, "There's trout." Okay, so I got to talking with one of the guys I worked with because he stopped there, and he originally from Thunder Bay.
Oh yeah,
he likes to go fishing and whatever. And he said, "Well, so one day we decide that we're gonna look on Google Maps. We start where we are. We started from that lake, that creek, right? And then we went further in the bush to see where the creek went. We found out that there's a lake just not too far from there. So we decided, hey, we're going to go to this lake. Like, you know what I mean? We should go to this lake one time. And he, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to trudge through the bush, but you'd be, you know what I mean? Who knows what would be in the lake? And that's how, you find different places, right?
Yeah, you walk it or bike it, whatever, right? 4-wheeler, side by side, whatever. You have.
Well, there was a dude. It was funny there one time. I was stopped there, and the guy pulls up with his vehicle and the trailer, goes to try to start a 4-wheeler. Yeah.
Epic fail?
There's like that guy with the snow machine there when it wouldn't start there. You know that. I don't want to say it too loud, so I kind of would swear there.
Oh, the French word? The French guy?
Yeah. So the guy was trying to start it and he couldn't. Right? It was kind of funny. So, and we went fishing there. And then here's another story. Okay. So you got the highway, right? Sorry, you got the highway. And on one side there's a rest area. On the other side, it's just a place you can go fishing, right?
Yep.
Like just the other part of the creek, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go decide, okay, we're gonna go underneath because the water was low, right? So we went underneath to go around, and I look up at the telephone line. I said, wonder how, because looked pretty high. I go, wonder how people get their line wrapped around, and I didn't even finish the sentence, and we got Mister here going 100 miles an hour, speed, wraps it right around. Oh, that's how. Okay,
Stromboy, Mr. Stromboy.
And then it was kind of funny because I seen this YouTube video, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the he's looking up at a tree. He's sitting in the lake. So I wonder how, like, that, somebody got a lure in that tree. Dude, there's ways, man. I didn't know, I didn't think anybody, because there was a lot of lures around the phone line. And I'm going, how the heck did they do that? Because it looked pretty high. And then Mr. Tomboy here, I guess he heard me, so he figured he'd show me how it was done.
See my hand, my arms.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to get as far across, further I get, deeper I get, and you get a bigger fish. I went. All I hear is, I'm not gonna say the word. I'm gonna use it as an example. Holy shit!
I go, oh, that's how, And then the same fishing trip, you nearly fell in the water, lost your rod.
Yeah, I didn't. You remember the bridge from Nighthawk? The rebuilt the bridge.
Yeah.
You remember the hydro pole? I wasn't there. Get my mess up there because kids used to fish off the docks, off the bridge,
mm-hmm.
and they get tangled. And then Hydro One collected all the tackle, whatever it was salvaged to keep. They donated to the kids.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Well, I mean, and there's different ways to find where to go fishing. Some people will tell you where they catch fish, not just say it's in the lake.
I say that for a joke sometimes. I say it as a joke, right?
Well,
Oh, where do you get that big pike yesterday? Oh, down the river over there. Where in the river? Over there.
It was in the water. Yeah, I got it out of the water. Yeah.
Here's your sign. So, I'm not afraid because people. I got a friend. Well, so
you got an acquaintance.
Yeah. So I don't talk to him much in the morning because he's always busy, and then his wife always gets mad now. And we know him very, very well. You think he's a.
Yeah.
And he's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know him. He rides the bus.
Well, no, he fixes the bus, right?
Yeah, he's a time changer. Anyways, he always tells me, "Oh, we're going for a coffee shop tonight. Go for coffee tonight." Okay, that's cool. That's cool. We go for coffee. Don't tell people where you caught the fish. Where you caught it. Just tell them in the waters. All right. And then they look at my pictures. They know where it is. Because if somebody knows the areas real well in Timmins, in the area, they know what spot it is sometimes.
Well, I'll tell you something. You take a picture from your phone. You don't remove location services from your pictures. Guess what is going to be in there? You click on your picture, and you know it's going to tell you
where it is,
where you were.
So, hear me this. On FishBrain, you take a picture, right? And then on your photos on your photo on your phone, it tells you the date, right? What's the date in Timmins, right? But you go to FishBrain and then you start posting the pictures, and it will pop up saying Nighthawk, Connaught, and we'll say Treasure House.
Yeah, but the thing is when you take a regular picture, okay?
Yeah.
If you were, in and cannot.
Yeah.
And you took a picture. It would be in the information of the photo.
Oh yeah, because you look at the photo and then you take your finger, go up like that, and the map pop up at the bottom, see where it is.
Yeah, you click on it and then it shows all kinds of information.
Yeah.
All the conspiracy theorists say that you could shut that off there because you don't want people to know where you live.
I don't care.
Me there. Really? Fuck off. Sorry there.
So I don't care. I don't care where I fish. People ask me where I fish. I tell them because you can't outfish the lake in one day.
Well, the thing is what are you afraid of? They'll catch a bigger fish than you. Like that's what it is with these guys. They have to catch the biggest fish.
Because we know a guy, me and Carntligo, for years and years, and we call him the Great Book. Okay.
Yeah.
He
the guy who had at 30 years old had 50 years of work experience. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So I tell him I want to go for penny fishing, something different to do. Oh, you're not big enough. I want the big walleyes or the big pikes. I said, okay, whatever. Let's do this.
Hey man, when you got a small weeby, I guess you got to get a bigger fish, huh?
Overcompensating.
Yeah,
and then we found out.
Probably has a 7-foot rod too, eh? I'll let you just.
I'm not gonna go there because I got a 7-foot rod. Hello, SCA, Mr. SCA.
It's always good fishing.
So
always a good time.
So, like we were saying earlier, right? You go down to trails. Like the best place I was told from a lot of people, from like Paul Esky told me at the sportsman show, and elders and older folks like my dad's friends tell me. He says if you go down a logging trail and you see a small trail, walk into it, you see what's at the end. You see a nice lake, try it out, see what's there. And or you can't get in, take your side by side, and then take a while to get there because all the roots in the ground popping out of this.
Well, back in the day, I mean, you didn't have whatever. Then you can buy these back road maps from the Rod and Gun Club.
Yes, I still have mine somewhere.
Those were good back in the day because basically it would show you. You can look at those maps and say, okay, well, let's try here. Plan trips, right?
Yeah, and then a year later, they added the Lucky Truck roads.
And then now they got Google Earth.
Yeah, Paul SCA uses a lot of Google Earth. I heard stories about it when he said, and then even Craig Solomon used Google Earth. Everybody uses it these days now.
Well, yeah, it's a good tool. Why not? Because basically you say, okay, where am I now? Where can I get to get maybe I want to fish somewhere new that maybe has like a little logging road or something like that. And then just, you do a search. You search around, you look, and then you'll find, oh, there's a body of water. You zoom in on it. Oh, well, let's try that. Right? So, and then you map it out to say, okay,
yeah,
this is where you are. And then you kind of need your phone or whatever, something with Google Earth on it. And then to get to where you're going. Right?
Yeah.
The guy on YouTube who Google Earth things to see. And then he'll either hike in, he'll use a e-bike or something, and he'll go look at stuff.
Even the old trappers back in the day, they make their own trails, get to the beaver dams, hunt their beavers.
Well, yeah, because they had trap lines.
Yeah.
The only problem is you don't want to walk where there was old trap lines if you don't know the area.
And then I heard people forget their traps over the years sometimes.
Well, some of the guys had to be pulled out of the bush last minute, right?
Yeah.
So there was a trapper out by Kiefer. He ended up they had to move him into town because he was getting too sick, and everything he had were just
Left behind.
left there. So we don't even know if there's traps in his little area or whatever.
Yeah.
His cabin's gone now. Like I was able to actually walk in it back before it got destroyed.
Oh.
And you
nice.
walk in there, it's a little cabin, and it was newspaper insulating it, and
Oh.
you had this little
The good old days. The good
dog,
old days.
and then his boat is sunk in the little. He had a little bay there in the back, be right beside his cabin.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this app here that you use.
Oh, the fish brain.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that for a bit.
Okay, the fish brain it's a social media site to post your big catch, and sometimes if you have a scale, if you know the size of it, right, the girth, wherever, how long it is, right, in the pounds, you can push it in, and then sometimes, and then the next day you go back, or the same day you catch another one, a little bit bigger, it will pop up on top of the screen, saying best, your PB, personal best, and then if you want, like I was saying earlier, your location, you can take it off or leave it on. Me, I don't care. It's just a lake. It's for everybody, free for all, I say. But don't fish near my boat.
Well, yeah.
So you go there and then you share all your experience in fishing, and then at the bottom of your picture, it tells you it doesn't have all the lures, right, you use, because they have all the name brands. They don't have the back doors, backyards, tackle stores. You know what I mean? Homemade tackle. But
that's technically what we're dealing with right now. We want to know where to catch the fish to start with.
So at that point, again, it shows the name of the lake. It takes a picture, and you post it, and it shows the name of the lake on top of the picture. Your name's on top, and then underneath it, and it says name of the lake. And then you click on the name of the lake, and it will pop up another section saying you click on, and then you show the name of the lake on top, those things on top, and then at the bottom it shows, in the middle shows, you got three things, right? And then it says in the middle, it says directions. You click on directions. You can click on map, Google Map, and then something else. Can't remember the other name because I'm always using Google Map. Like you said, it's a new tool. It's easy to use, and it pops up, and then tells you how many hours to get there, how many minutes. If you're in the area, you say, for example, you click on Giddels Lake for me. It take probably 5 seconds, or depends on the traffic.
Yeah, might be 5.5.
So, yeah, it's a cool feature on there.
Well, the thing is basically you wouldn't be using it to go to lakes about, right?
No, I use it because I see some lakes. I go, oh, what's this lake? So I click on it. I go, already then.
Well, that's what we did to that lake that we went to, and I can't remember the name of it right now. The one we went in on me run there.
It starts with an
I
A.
actually Google Earth the thing to find out where it was, what it was, because it'll show the name on it, right? So I'm going,
It's a name.
Let's see what name it is,
It's AW.
Yeah, something like that. Don't really matter at this point, but yeah.
The name's on my fridge.
Basically, it's not too far from the Opishing.
Yeah.
Opishing rest spot. There's a road, like a bush road, not 30 feet, 40 feet from the turnoff, something like that.
Yeah.
it ends up being in a big U. So it starts about, just say, 50 or so feet from Kiefer Lake Road,
Yeah.
and it goes all the way to like a big U comes out just before Opening, the rest spot, right across the street from Opening Lake.
Yeah.
Like you see like you come out, you turn left, and then you see the creek or the river, and then you got uh, then you got the rest spot, and then across the street is the lake,
Yeah.
the
So,
road to the lake.
so the only thing I know is in there, right? I know
Mhm.
that I know there's a lot of pike because that's what we caught that day, a bunch of it, like a dozen of pike
Mhm.
or more. I can't remember. And it's been 7 years since we went there.
Yeah.
And
Trying to
there's
tell me something there.
and there's walleye there too, and plus rags.
Yeah. Yeah. You caught a big one, man. That was a big rag. I was impressed. I
I
was
got
proud of
the
you, man.
I got the pictures,
You brought it in and everything. You know what I mean?
and
Didn't
and,
lose it.
and the wife had to take a picture of it
Well, yeah, because you bought a ring. I mean, why not?
because the wife reminds me of your grandmother and your mom
Yeah, kind of.
for
Not
pictures.
as much. Not as much. When my mom, it was getting bad. My nephew and I were walking in the door there one time, and then we look over, we smile, click, and then we kept on walking because we knew we were going to get a picture.
You remember your brother-in-law? He's in the van taking stuff out. He goes, "Oh no, the paparazzi's caught me."
Yeah, it was actually my nephew that started saying she was a paparazzi. Yeah.
And then I started taking pictures of people at the cottage, around the cottage, right? Back in the last while. And Armin going, "You learn from Mrs. Boulain." I said, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah. Some
So
people are whatever. Anyway. Yeah.
so on the website for Fish Brain, right? You can use it for free. The whole app for free on your phone. If you go to the website, I don't know. I didn't see I didn't do it on the computer. So I wasn't thinking. I was on my phone, and I'm doing things on my phone, and it tells me go to the app
Yeah.
because the app
I
informs.
find I find a lot of stuff will kind of want you to point you to the app,
Yeah.
no matter what you're using. So, like Google's bad for that. They want you to use their freaking app, right?
So right
I don't
here,
want to use it. I don't like it on the phone.
or
Anyway, go ahead.
right here, underneath the name, I'll top here where my finger is.
Mm-hmm.
The name there, real small, and underneath it, it shows Snake Lake. And I'm more positive I know where that is.
Well, there you go.
So I click on it, right, and then it says Snake Lake, Ontario. Okay, and it says follow. And you can follow it to follow the lake, right? Click on it, follow it. Every time somebody posts pictures, you get updates of that person posting in that area.
Yeah, you follow the person. Yeah.
No, you're following on the lake itself. So I talked about.
Okay.
You got a section for follow the lake. Is there anybody posting in that Snake River group page? Call it or like Facebook page group. And you get a notification. Then after that, it says directions. Like I said, then and the last box you can click on right here.
Yeah.
The last box here says forecast. So you can go click on forecast, and it tells you everything.
What time of year and stuff like that?
Well, it's today 9 o'clock. It says sun and clouds.
Oh, weather for it. I don't. Yeah. Moo, I got an app for that.
And then he goes 20 degrees. It says 20 degrees. Feels like same. Feels like 19, like normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says 8 kilometer wind southwest
Okay.
over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says 10-11 for M bar. I don't know what M bar means.
That's pressure.
So then I go back, close that up, and I go back to my directions, right? And it says maps, Google Maps, and then cancel. So I go to Google Maps because it's easier for me to read.
Well, you don't cancel because you won't get nowhere. Technically.
Okay, that's awesome.
How far?
It's from my apartment. From my apartment, it's 2 hours and 33 minutes.
That's not bad.
And I think it's a turn off from going to Sudbury, I think.
Snake Lake? Yeah, possible.
144? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of nice little lakes in that area too.
Yeah, you got Snake Lake. I was thinking about Snake Lake. I was thinking of Foki.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the name of the lake is out there, but yeah.
Because remember I told you I went to Mike's cottage.
Yeah.
Well, he's on Snake Lake. It's almost. It's a little bit bigger than McDonald's Lake. I could see. I almost could see the whole lake. And I caught a lot of pike on there. They're trying to tell me there's a lot of walleye in there. It's tons. Every time we went fishing, pike.
Yeah, but what'd you use?
I was using minnows.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, definitely. Not too many walleye then. I can't see there being lots.
I know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any more bursts of inspiration here?
If you want, you can pay for it. You can pay for like to be a pro on it. You get more stuff for yourself to learn. You get pro tips.
Okay.
But all the preps. Excuse me. All the tips I learned, I read it online. I go on YouTube. I read about it. People tell me. And now lately, I've been using ChatGPT or whatever we call it there.
GPT, yeah.
Yeah, you've been using that a lot, more and more. It helps me a lot more. I find. Right. I asked the AI thing. Because a lot of people tell me, oh, it's only for casting, right? It's an action. You cast it out, you reel it, pop it, and then it stops. It doesn't go side to side. When you jerk it like this, the lure goes like this and side to side, and then when you stop jerking it, it goes back right fast in the center, so the fisher can grab it faster. So and then I asked the ChatGPT. GPT, it said yes, you have control with it. So whenever I get out of the lake there, whenever I do, I'm going to put it to the test.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't been able to. Haven't had the time to do there. It's a little bit of fishing.
Yeah,
busy.
You have a lot of stuff that the car is going to be prepared. That's why.
Well, there's always something.
So, and then at the bottom you got your community page, right? And then you got your. This page is mixed with Canadians, Americans, and overseas. Right? You got your feeds, your regular feeds. You look on it, look like Facebook kind of thing. And then you have my area. That means where we at, right? You click on it. You say, oh, look at. And then sometimes I'm gonna go to me here, my pictures, right? And then on my page, and I caught 5 species. All the years: walleye, northern pike, lake sturgeon, black bowheads, and rock bass. And I went last year with a friend of mine, Hope Lake off of Dalton Road. Got some specs. And his truck, your truck can't get in because it was his truck. It was a little Avalanche, Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
It fits you really nice. So it's a nice little lake. It's not big, not small. It's
That's probably where your uncle got stuck. Yeah. Leo.
Yeah. Because
Um,
he asked me where I got the trout. I told him Hope Lake.
yeah, he got stuck out there with his boat and his vehicle.
Uh,
He's
so
got one of those new escapes there.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he ended up asking, uh, getting a ride from Gilbert.
Oh, okay. So anyways, so
So he
I
was
got
probably out there.
yeah.
'Cause he goes out there quite often. There he goes fishing all over the place there.
Yeah. He's still bugging me about you and I going ice fishing.
Now we got to do some ice fishing, man.
I seen him at the square a lot with his wife, and he goes, when you and your buddy there you go to do ice fishing this year, don't forget his wife. Oh yeah, she could come.
Yeah, he's funny.
So I click on my fish where I caught my fish, right? My best BB. Click on it, and it says Nighthawk, February 11th, 2022. And
Oh
then
yeah.
it says walleye.
Okay.
And then when I posted this picture right here,
Yeah.
right there, right, you see the shacks in the back?
Yeah.
Look at the guy looked at me. The guy at the donut shop. He goes, "Hey, that's my shack. You're at Nighthawk."
Yeah.
Because he's the friend was Al.
Uh,
I didn't go without. I went with John Key. I mean not John Key.
Jean-Guy.
I'm not John Key. I mean Jacques Dion. He's bad for don't tell people, don't tell me. And then he's another guy. He's the guy that says, see this lure, my crankbait. Yeah, it's the only one in the world. I have it. Right. So I take my phone out of my pocket. I pull out my pictures. You mean these lures? Are you Ozuris? Oh, where you get those? I won them.
Well, I don't know. They got to feel important, I guess.
Yeah, and then I found another lure, like a spoon. He uses it for ice fishing. He
Yeah.
jigs it. He jigs it a lot, right? It costs a lot of wally with that spoon. And only one spoon in the market. You know where you get it?
At the store.
Yeah, and I can't remember. It's made by the Swedish people lure for ice fishing, but no, they use it for summer fishing now outside the boat, regular jigging.
Mm-hmm.
It's in North Bay.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So the app is good. Good app. It tells you where to link it. See, you see somebody catching nice big walleyes and oversized pike. You go, I like to get that side of that pike or that sturgeon. That side of sturgeon. You click on the sturgeon. You go, okay.
Yeah, it's nice app.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, it'd be nice to have something to say, okay, um, I'm in this area. I want to go, no further than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
To 2 hours away from where I am.
It's like,
and then from my area,
so
and find a fishing place for whatever. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And then it could show you like where you are
And then
in a big circle. Like, it doesn't even have to show you the lakes. Just a big circle from where you are, right? And then you go, okay, where's these lakes? And then you look at the lakes and say, okay, which one can I head to today? And, like once a weekend, you can go do something like that, right? Or
Yeah.
once a month or something, depending on how much time you got on your hands, obviously. But it'd be nice to show just the area, like the lakes. Because technically, I don't really need to know that you caught, it's nice to know what you caught there, right?
So they ask you, what's in the lake, right? You say fish, right? Like we always say for jokes.
Yeah.
But you say, what's in the lake? Perch, walleye, bass, catfish, sturgeons, whatever, right? Trout. And
Yeah, little suckers, whatever. I
and
mean,
then if you go to the Batavian River, you got almost everything: whitefish, trout, pike, rock bass, pumpkin seeds, sturgeons, lake sturgeons, that is, and then so on. There's more in there that maybe I don't know about. Oh yeah, and smallmouth bass.
hmm
Yep. So Snake Lake it's actually not in Foki. It's more of a movie. The other Snake Lake.
yeah,
It's an hour and 33 minutes. That don't make sense
yeah.
because the picture the other map for on 144 seems closer.
No, Smooth Rock is only about 45 minutes away.
Yeah, and then you got
Wow, an hour and 15, just say.
yeah, and then you got
Okay.
Moonbeam, and
And if it's just, yeah, Moonbeam's pretty much further.
yeah,
But yeah, it's not. Well, the thing is you can get to Hearst through, like, if you're by Chapleau,
yeah,
you can go to Hearst the back way.
yeah,
They call it the back way.
Yeah.
Right? So you can get that way to get to Hearst.
yeah, by Wawa. And
Yeah.
you go
No.
Wawa and White
No.
River.
No, not by Wawa. There's a road before you hit Chapleau that you go down, right? And it's an old logging road.
I don't see it. Oh, is it okay? Logging road. It's not on the map here.
Yeah, well, it's in the map. It's a road now, but you travel that way.
Okay.
Brinks uses it all the time because the guys that go to Chapleau end up going to Hearst. I looked at him and I said, well, why does that make sense to you?
Is it quicker?
Like you got guys going to Chapleau. I mean, not Chapleau, but Cochrane, right?
And
But then again, Cochrane's not the same way.
No, it's
We used to always have to fight with our dispatch to say, okay, well, you're going to go to Cochrane and then this way. Well, it's the opposite way. Well, what do you mean? Look at the highway. You go down 655, you turn right to go to Cochrane, left to go to Cap. Tell me how that's on the way. Now, if I went through down 101 to Municipal Road, up to Municipal Road, down to Highway 11, past Iroquois Falls to go to Cochrane that way, then yeah, Cochrane would be on the way to Capus Casing.
okay. At your end,
I confused you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That's why I went.
Yeah. Well, you got to have somewhat direction sense to understand what I just said, too, though. But
Yes, I know. My dad took me to Cochrane when I was 18 for that court jury thing.
Yeah.
We took down the Airport Highway.
Yeah, you go down the Airport Highway, you turn right.
Yeah.
Where the old outdoor theater there,
Yes.
drive-in was. Yeah. You go past that way till you get to the end of the road, right? And then you turn left, and then you go all the way, and then you'll see a sign that says Cochrane this way, right? Yeah. And then you turn right, and then you merge into that Highway 11, past a set of tracks, and you go all the way to, and then you drive all the way to Highway 11. Okay, that's the normal way that people go to Cochrane. Okay. Well, 655 is 77 kilometers of road before you hit 11.
Right.
Municipal Road is approximately 22 kilometers of road before you hit Highway 11.
Right.
Okay. Normally, except for last year, the roads, Highway 101 and Highway 11 are clean, quicker than Municipal Road and 655. 655 is usually pretty bad. Municipal Road has been bad lately because they don't salt that road no more. They don't put salt on that road anymore. Okay. So if I want to drive down a crappy piece of highway to get to Highway 11, going to Cochrane, I'd rather travel down 21 kilometers than 77. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And to boot, it's only 5 minutes difference in time from one way to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you're only taking 5 minutes more and you're not traveling on a bad highway as much, that's definitely the way to go. I know a guy who wouldn't travel down 655. He was too scared of it. He'd only go down Municipal Road. Never would go down 655. Probably
Right.
had a bad experience, some accidents, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I seen moose on both roads. It don't matter. I seen bears on both roads. It don't matter. Like, you know what I mean? You get the same, whatever. That new mine is down that way. Canadian Nickel, I think, has a mine out that way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's open yet.
Yeah, it's open. Yeah, well, it's going to be open, I think. But anyway, so basically, just say if you're going to go to Cochrane and you're out in South End,
Yeah.
don't go down 655. Just go down Municipal Road. It's only going to take you 5 minutes more. And then you go out, you go past Camp Bickle and
Yeah, it cannot, yeah.
And you know, the provincial park is down that way. You know, you pass by Dubiens there. Sometimes they have nice little things in there, little different stuff, because it's a mom and pop store.
Yeah.
I think from what I think Beamish was thinking, I think something about them selling stuff out there.
Beamish?
Yeah, I think so.
Or nice.
Because they said something about I think Dubiens. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that was on their site. I think it's what you showed me. So yeah. So, yeah.
I posted the name of the lake and went.
Okay.
See it in the chat. Now it's trying to spell it to me.
Hey man, you're gonna have to get a native to do that, man. Anyway.
Because we were in the area looking at the map, right? Google Map, because Google Map show us Snake Lake on 144, right? So the lake. Then I went, oh, okay, let's check this lake out where it is. So I went, here we go.
Yeah, we went to the lake.
We went for a ride because Constable Lake asked me and his wife, want to take a ride somewhere just for fun, just get out of the cottage for a bit. We said sure, right? And we came back. We seen the lake. We went back to the camp, got our gear, and went back for a couple hours, and we went there until dark. That was fun. That was a fun night.
So basically, it never hurts to, if some older people that went fishing back in the day, whatever. I bet a lot of people know different areas. Like
For all we know, if you some elders will tell you.
It's 10:00 p.m.
Some elders will tell you just go to over here and you should get some big ones.
Well, the thing too is
if an elder cannot tell you, or older folks that knows experience, go to your local taco store.
Go there, just buy an old map, man. Look,
I know a store used to be in a little small town called Schumacher, right? Called Pro Taco, and they closed the doors, and then a year later they reopened on the highway.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they had maps in the back on the walls for sale. Old school maps. When you sit in the boat and go, okay, see that structure here? This is where we're at. And I don't understand that myself.
Man, my neighbor at the cottage, got a depth sounder, okay,
Mm-hmm.
aka fish finder, whatever you want to call it,
Sonar, yeah.
sonar, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So he put it on his boat. Spent the whole summer, couple of summers, going around finding the depths of everything, wherever he can go. Okay. I think he even got one that he could put on his kayak because he used to kayak with his wife all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He'd always joke that he was the first one in the water every year because he'd be there in springtime and then he'd try to get on his kayak and he'd fall in the water. So, fortunately, he moved out to BC there.
Okay, I know you're talking about now.
Yeah, Vancouver, BC, not behind Coniston there. The real BC.
Yeah, British
And
Columbia.
he used to stay there all summer, or all winter long, and then he'd make sure our property was okay and stuff like that. It was nice. It was nice to have somebody there. But
You got sick.
the guy that was in that, like, he bought the property from somebody else, and the guy that was there, he used to tell stories about places where he go, right back in the day, and then he showed us this place where he can get his minnows in the back of the lake, and then he would say, well, over here there's this, and then over there whatever, you know what I mean, and we'd be sitting there, me and his grandson would be sitting there because I was friends with his grandson, so we were just sitting there hanging out, and he said one day, he says, you want to go get some minnows? Yeah, whatever, man. We got it. Sure. Like, we were kids. Why not? I think he was 8. I was 10 or 11, something like that.
Yeah.
So we went out. We jumped in his boat, and then we took off. And then he stopped, and he showed us. So, like, right here, this is where I put my minnow trap. And I said, I get a lot of minnows because, you know, they were going fishing that night.
Is it still good? Still good today?
Yeah, man. Because Kiefer Lake is a spring-fed lake. Because there's lots of springs all over the place. Because if you go walking in the lake, it'll be warm and then cold, and then warm and then cold. It's not because somebody pissed themselves. It's because you walk over springs, right? So there's no creek in, but there's one out. The Kiefer Creek is an out. But there's a lot of springs that feed the lake, so which is why that lake is nice and clear. And we just filter the sand, and we drink that water. And it was at one point my grandfather used to test it all the time, and it was testing perfectly fine. Like, if I can actually do some testing too, like the government shows you how to do the testing, and you can test your lake to make sure your lake is okay.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why some lakes don't allow boats on their or two-stroke on their lakes,
water,
because it puts oil in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically the exhaust has oil in it. Like, it pretty well burns, but there's still a little bit of oil depending on how it runs, right? Because if your boat runs like a piece of crap, it's gonna put, oil and stuff, gas in the lake.
Right.
Right. That's why it smokes. It's because it's burning oil.
Yeah.
Right. So,
on that note, you keep talking. I gotta go to the washroom.
Sure, man.
Okay, you keep talking about.
Go see a man about a horse.
Yeah, your motor is okay, right?
Well, they got the 4-strokes now.
What about the speedboat?
What speedboat?
The one you bought.
No, it's 2-stroke.
Okay.
It has oil injection.
All right. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's not 4-stroke, because the 4-strokes. That's why they came up with that, so that it wouldn't pollute the lake. Yeah. So basically, he's gonna go see a man about the horse. All right.
Close the window.
Okay. Oh. Do, 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 do. So yeah, basically, the best way to do it is to just ask people these apps like he was talking about. There's more than that as an app, but for like Canada, they have a lot less than they have in the States, and you know, some elders, like
Yeah,
we call it elders because that's what indigenous call their older the older people is elders, right?
yeah, and then
And a
yeah,
couple of times
yeah.
I
Go
would
ahead.
go to the reserves, right, to go fix something or whatever, and then they say, well, too bad you weren't staying more than a day like today because I could have went out fishing there, you know. Um,
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely different. Like there's different ways to doing it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's nice that if you only go to different lakes and experience different kind of fishing.
Yep. And then it's like the app we were I was talking about.
Yeah,
But right now I'm learning to use another app called Windy something,
yeah,
right? And it tells you actually it tells you what's in the lake,
yeah.
what fish is in the lake. So fish brain, you gotta go. Okay, what's in there? The only way you find out what's in there is somebody takes a picture,
Post the picture. Yeah.
and then you got the link on the name on top of the lake. You click on it, you see the map. You go, all right, and then you put that in your GPS in your vehicle,
Mhm.
and it take you there, or GPS on your phone, whatever you use it for in your vehicle, and you get there, either offshore or on the water with a boat.
Okay. You keep on talking about that. I'll be right back.
Your turn to see my about a horse.
Nope. I'm gonna
Liquid.
go see my wife.
Okay, so the other app, the Windy something app, it gives you how the temperature of the water. It gives you this and everything. I don't know how what the temperature is on the water, how that works with through the phone. I'm not too
Okay.
sure, but
That's expensive.
if you use the app, it tells you what's in the lake, what kind of species in there, and the depths.
Yeah, basically.
But I don't know how it will read the temperature of the water.
You probably have to input it.
Probably because it says you click on it, it tells you everything from the video I sent you.
Yeah. So the one thing too is you have to take the that's what the depth sounders, fish finders, sonars, whatever you want to call them. They're all different. They're different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some that just find fish. There's some that actually, just the depth, and then they're like the old ones where they basically to show you how deep it is, and then they would kind of show where the fish were. They look like little triangles there.
But now today
But now they got more computer stuff in it, and then it actually shows
well
fish.
I've been watching a lot of a friend of mine a lot, Paul Essier again, right? Paul Essier, bring the two friends of his, Sebastian, his friend from hers, and Grace
Mhm.
Solomon from Timmins, right? And they're doing all and he got live scope, and he got the little bar in his hands. He's moving the bar like this in the water. She's a fish, and then he casts out. and then boom, right away. I seen it. I went, how that possible? They're using plastics, they're using live bait, stuff like that, and then he throws it right in front, like he says, maybe it goes on the side of his face or in front of him, and then you see it, you go, wham! I went, how the hell is it possible? They do that at light scope.
Yeah.
But our first light scope came out, for, for, for what I know about it, it was for ice fishing at first. And now they took it to the, like, they're taking the ice fishing world
Mm-hmm.
to the summer world, to take the summer world fishing to the ice fishing world. So vice versa, right?
Well,
So
it'd be neat to, because I mean, a lot of these gadgets slash electronics slash whatever they're nice. I mean, it's not everybody can experience that.
no,
What I
like
mean?
you sent me a while back called beeper,
Mm-hmm.
the little ball in your line. You throw it, and you see the depths of the lake,
Yeah.
offshore, or in the boat, whatever. And then you take the other rod, you cast out, and then
Yeah, there's different, like, they got, if you look on Temu,
yeah, they got lots of different types.
they got, where they show the camera and then they show the fish, whatever's under the water. Okay, that's neat. I mean,
I don't want to
I
see
think
what
it would be neat to have that,
it is
right?
nice.
And just to see what's under the water. And I'm not talking about fish. I'm just talking about
The structure and stuff like that.
whatever's underwater. Because there's some places where we know, like I know, okay, there's a drop off here, there's this over here, this goes a little bit lower, okay, it comes up and goes over there. You don't go here because it's too, too shallow and whatever. Okay. So over by the island with the big rock, like I kept on saying to you, that there's a drop off here. We want to make sure that we're right at the drop off, and that's where we're gonna get our limit. Basically, we're gonna get it. I mean, we're in it to win it at this point, right?
Yeah.
We're to the point that when we are lucky to the point where we find it.
Yeah.
Right. Because yeah, you can remember that you're like, okay, well, it's 32 feet from the big, I mean, it's like 15 feet from the big rock. Okay, well, that's fine and dandy.
If you buy if you buy braided line, different colors, and you count red at 10 feet.
No, I'm talking about away from shore. Like, where the drop off is because it goes like this to, like, you're way further down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about the depths of the water. I'm talking about the distance from shore.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, okay, that's fine and dandy, right? But if you had this camera and you lowered it down, like you put it on a rope and you lower it down, right?
Well, it has
The one with the cable, okay, not a wireless one, because to me, wireless there would be a joke. But the one that's wired would be better because you would get a better connection. And then you look to see, okay, well, here's the drop off. This is what it looks like. I personally know what it looks like because I dove down there to find an anchor at one point. So I know what the shore looks like the bottom of the lake looks there, and it's rocks. I mean, it's rocks. There's no dirt. There's no muskeg or whatever you want to call it. No rotting trees or whatever. At least there wasn't when I went there. Because what happens is it goes down like this. And then all of a sudden it goes like that. So basically where we were catching fish is you go this way. And then where it went like this, somewhere between the drop off and the bottom is where the fish were.
Yeah.
In the spring.
The wall I like to hang out on drop offs for some reason.
Yeah, and then if you go by the island with the big lake, right? the island,
With
Big
the Beaver
Island.
Dam? Was it Beaver
Big
Dam?
Island, but on the front of it.
Okay.
Okay. That's the deepest point of the lake. It's 50 feet.
Okay.
Okay. Depending on the depth of the water and there,
Yeah.
if you want to get technical or whatever.
Yeah. And
The water's usual depth. The usual depth of the water. It's
Yeah.
usually around 50 to 60 feet
right.
to the deepest part of the lake, which is right in front of where the Big Island is. Okay, which is just happens to be right across from where we were,
Yes.
where we are.
And
Okay.
then the other area we go to with the paddle boat, where the rock is right here, right, and over here in the corner, right. We still in the drop off zone, and we're catching
Yeah.
walleye
Well, it goes all the way around the
the
goes
island.
around like this.
Yeah.
So
We
it's
caught-
like
we caught
it's
rock
like
bass.
you have the shore, like the bottom of the lake, and then you got a wall like this, like it's straight up and down.
Yep.
At some point,
Mhm.
and then you got an angled like to the shore, right? And then you got the big rock. Like we call
Yeah.
it the island with the big rock because it's got a big rock right
And-
there in front of the lake. In the
You got
front of the island.
nice size walleye in that area,
It's a huge rock. Okay.
and we caught big pike, but we took his
Yeah.
nephew. We took his nephew one time, and then he seen a big splash off my rod come up, right, and he goes, "What kind of fish was that?" No. Your nephew said, "What kind of fish was that?" And Constantino says, it was a fish.
I said, yeah, it was a fish that got lost.
And then he goes, "What kind of fish?" And then later on, we got back to the camp, the cottage. He says, "I'm more
No,
proud."
yeah, we caught a rock bass. Remember?
Yeah, for him, he was happy. So my fish, I didn't get out of the water. I didn't see it. I just saw it. It could be a big walleye. It could be a big pike. No matter what it was.
Well, just like Justin, we got a picture of Justin with a walleye, right? That he caught.
2017, nice.
Yeah, it was a nice one. It was a nice size. Like, you know what I mean? And then, there's a lot of people that might get jealous that, when somebody else caught a fish and I don't care. Man. I personally don't care.
I would take that picture, go somewhere, make cakes, edible on his cake.
Yeah, we already made him an edible cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
So-
with that. Though. That was
I know,
with
but-
something else. But
I
anyway,
know. So
back when Walmart actually did it.
yeah. So yeah. So like we're talking about going places, get pike. If you might get big pike, you go to we're talking river. Got nice ones in there, big ones in there. You go to Kiefer Lake, you got big ones in there. I know that because I see Constantino catches them.
There's something down there that was gigantic.
And the
Okay,
guy
I
and the guy Marcel, right? At your cottage area, he says they're big walleye. The caught in the wintertime. I don't know. I don't know if you know
There's
him or not.
there's something big because if you're sitting there and you're still fishing, which means that you're not trolling, right?
Yeah.
And something grabs your lure or your bait, and the tip of your rod hits the water, man. I mean, it hits the water, and they slams it like it slams this freaking bait. And I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. I mean, it slams it, and your tip of your rod just goes. I mean, right away, and
It could be a walleye.
you're not moving. You're not moving. Okay, so it's not like you got a snag here, and you're not reeling in at this point. Like, this is before you reel in. This is before you move. This is before anything.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, your drag goes there, and snap. I mean, you don't even get a chance to reel in this sucker.
That's
And
what-
then we normally use 10 to 12 pound test.
yes,
Okay, so this is not, no 6 pound test line or whatever.
no,
I know 10 and 12 is not the strongest thing in the world. I get it.
but
I've had, the one time I found some braided line that my
Spider
dad
line?
had back in the day, and I used that.
spider line.
No, and I used that, and then it still broke it. This thing still broke it.
But I bought braided line from Wish years ago, right? And
But the Spire line is good stuff because I
Yeah.
like the way it ties.
yes, but the thing is too that when I never used braided line before. Contigo always used braided line on his line, and he goes, "Dude, buddy, try this. Okay, your line is breaking all the time. I was using monofilament or fluorocarbon line
Hmm.
a lot, and then even the little guy snapping me, right?
Well, that's before you used to change your change
lure a lot too much.
your line. That's before you change your line. You know what I mean?
So
That's
now-
before you knew that. You were only a youngin, man. You weren't that old.
now I started using braided line over 10 years now.
Well, I tried. I had braided line. My dad had it way back in the day. Don't
Yeah.
know where he got it from because he didn't know where he got it from. And oh yeah, by the way, you asked me about this. Remember that thing we took a ride?
The sonar. I mean the sonar panel. Yeah, the panel for the vehicle.
Yeah. So
Okay,
basically, it's a solar panel, Eliminator, Canadian Tire brand.
put it on your boat.
Yeah, might. Go
So
ahead,
anyways,
there.
yeah, the line. We never had a line like that. I never used it because my dad always got the cheap ones for us when we were kids, right? 10 pound max for us. What's the pounds on that?
I think it's 10.
Okay, I got fluorocarbon in my pile here. It's 25-pound test.
We got our fishing rods here still.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
It's a nice color. There you go.
No,
There you go.
yeah, it's like a bluish green
Yeah.
from what I seen. So it's nice.
Yeah, this is braided. This is braided.
Oh, nice. You got that from Temu or Wish?
Timu.
Okay. I bought
No.
some Temu
I think
line.
that's upside down.
I bought braided Temu line from Temu.
Yeah. Like I don't know how much line is on here, but I think I bought enough for the wife and I. So.
Yeah. So I bought some Temu. All right, it's right here. Just see it right here. 10-pound test.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 15. Right? I go 10 to 15 max.
Yeah.
And
If you go too high, obviously you can't.
it twirls.
Well, that braided line is not really bad for twirling.
No, it's more of a when you're fishing with pickle rigs and go getters, any type of rig.
Yeah.
Later on in life, your line would start twirl. And then when you cast out, get your fish, it's stretching you back out here.
So
So the line here I got here, it doesn't give me a full spool.
no, I got.
What was that?
We'll get some of the drink for you. Drink. Okay.
And now Even the newer line coming out now. It says
That
it
was
says
really
yeah, okay, that's what I thought. And so even the newer line, I've been reading a lot about it. Right, you get
Mhm.
10-pound test line. Right, it said and it said 10 test pounds, and then the diameter feels like 8 pounds when you touch it.
yeah. They got the new stuff that does that. Yeah,
Yeah, the newer stuff. I'm going, wow.
but the spider line, spider wire, whatever they call it, that stuff ties nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a coating on it that makes it tie a lot easier,
Yeah,
right? And then people start saying, well,
go ahead.
will it untie just
Yeah,
as easy?
it
Well, if
does.
you tie the right knot, it ain't gonna do that.
Yeah. So yeah, so you do it right. You do it right. You can be okay after.
Yeah.
And I got another one here, right here.
Yeah,
I got
that's
this
the
one. I got this one here.
yeah.
It's 10 pound, 10 pounds, 109 yards. It's pro breeds fishing line, braid line, P, PE 4 braided.
Okay. Four braided.
Yeah, it's for I think it's like a diameter by it feels like a four. It's a four. No, it's a 10 pounds, but it's more like a 4 like a four.
Oh, okay.
You know how we talked about a minute ago?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I bought this here on Temu because I needed extra money, an extra slot for free shipping. Because
Wow.
I don't like Temu sometimes because they make you spend money, make you get the free shipping.
well, or this, get stuff like this
Yeah,
for
so
free.
I got
They
this.
tell you it's free, and then you have to
Yeah,
buy other stuff.
and I'm a fan of mixed colors in my line because every 10 feet is one, and you go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 for trolling, right?
Okay.
Because for trolling, because I counted, I learned that from the guys on TV a lot. And you don't have a meter on your reel, so the line will help you out. And I keep forgetting to use that method all the time
Yeah.
because it's not in my head all the time saying, oh, I need that, because we don't have 4 or 5 rods in the boat. Max rods we have in the boat is maybe 4. You 3 plus me,
Yeah.
right? So if there's 2 on my side, 2 on your side, right? The ones in the back go shorter. The ones
Mm-hmm.
are in the front on the edge further out. We got to go out more. Where I see it in the front in the corner
Yeah.
for trolling. I got to leave my line out longer than yours because you're in the back,
Yeah.
so that we don't get tangled. I learned that with my old man. Holy fuck. Excuse my language. Sorry, guys. So easy get really ticked off about that. Hey, guys, you get tangled. I told you to do this way. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, don't cut it no more. We're going back in to fish the lines.
Yeah.
So the twins mostly get tangled a lot more than I did. But I still get tangled off and on. And I never fish with someone we know, Mr. Belair, in his boat. You need to tell nobody's backing up and everybody get caught in the motor.
Oh man, yeah. Adam
So
used to do that too.
yes, not anymore.
That's what your brother told us.
Yeah. This one here, I might use it for like ice fishing because I don't think there's enough line for a reel,
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. How many feet in this one? No, it doesn't say how many. No. So I like how they put the picture with the hooks.
yeah. It's neat how they do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
this
they
made
got
in
good
Japan.
design. You know, what I mean, I remember when they first came out, the spider wire there.
It had the reel like with legs.
Yeah. It was,
And then you see the spool, the bail opens, and you see him go.
well, yeah, the commercial, you mean?
Yeah.
But and then they had the one I got was the red box, right?
Yeah.
So
And then I tried JZ something from Japan.
Yeah.
From Pro Taco. I'm not Pro Taco, from Albert's
Yeah.
Surplus, and I liked it, and I did not like it. It was strong, but I found it like it's like it went over rocks a lot on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like you feel it. It's like it brittle.
Yeah.
You know how you get the fish, you check your line at your swivel, make sure nothing will snap or nothing.
Yeah, but you were used to monofilament, because with monofilament or fluorocarbon, if you feel that roughness,
Yeah.
you got to cut that piece out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause
So
it's
now,
gonna break. But with some of the especially the early one stuff there, that braided, they were a little rough, right?
yeah, but now I go to my local. I go to my local Dollarama, the dollar store,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I buy my line there now, braided, and I haven't changed my line since over 3 years.
Yeah, well, just because it's at a dollar store doesn't mean it's any really bad. You know,
It's
they
like,
say. Did you know that the thing is with a lot of stuff
right?
that you buy, a lot of it is made in China.
Yes.
I mean, so basically, there's this one company that makes it for like 20 different people.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be spending whatever amount of money, why do you want to overspend when you can buy it cheaper somewhere else
Yeah.
for the
That's why.
same thing?
See right here. I bought it at the dollar store. You see my post, right, on Facebook,
Yeah.
right? And a guy told me, he says, "There's a real deal, real deal." I went, "Okay, that's cool." We talk about offline to off Facebook to Messenger, and look at the hook on that.
Yeah.
Look pretty sick. And then if the hook could hang on to your nail without falling off, it's good. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you put something
Reminds
there.
me of my hooks. Remember my hooks there when I first, and you go bent. Hey, what are you doing?
It's
Well, your thing's all bent. No, that's how it's made.
and then over the years, I start reading about it more and start learning about more other stuff. That was back in 05.
Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
Under the bridge, I was living on Wendy. So I learned more about that. Now, guess what I am? I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I like those.
I'm a fan with those hooks now. I buy them just a straight snout from my pickle rigs, or just trolling with them with a minnow
Yeah.
or a worm, just like that with the little split shots. Yeah.
To me, I grabbed it because that's what they had, right? And then I went still fishing with the family or whatever.
I find they hook it real good on it.
and then it worked. It seemed to hook better. I'm going, all right.
I'd rather use these hooks here.
Mhm.
They're half ounce,
Yeah.
right? Because it'd be good for Talking River because the current's so strong, right? I only paid $4.25 for these for a 6-pack, and then 3-odd hook, 3-odd. Forgot to tell you that.
Mhm.
But the thing is, too, if they're real cheap, you can go back and buy more and more and more different sizes, and you're not afraid to lose these in the water because Talking River, it's a snag city
yeah.
at the boat launch. That is.
Well, everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
So
Well,
now,
when they cleared that area for the new bridge there. Well, I say new bridge, but it's been around for a long time now.
like forever,
But
from the
they cut the
90s,
trees around that area, and then they just a lot of them just fell in the river.
and people lost their tools in the water too, I believe.
Say whatever.
So,
Yeah. So you get snags. That's what it is. It's part of fishing.
those sickleback hooks you were talking about,
Yeah.
sickle, not sickleback, what is sickle?
Yeah.
They're hard to find now
Well, of course.
because the Matsuo was the first one to have them,
Yeah.
right? So now you got tackle Eagle Claw
Mm-hmm.
makes them now. They're a different name.
Oh, they named it differently.
Yes. So I found that out from a guy in Timmins here told me about it. So we're talking about at the donut shop, talking about we're swapping different lures. What I like to use, what he likes to use, stuff like that, back and forth.
Oh yeah.
And he says you can't find the sickles no more. So I know they went bankrupt. Well, they came back in the market again, but by a different name. You know how Rapala takes all these little different companies and put them in one big company.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this company got the same thing for that.
Well, you get that, or I mean, how many like when we were younger, Rapala was the only one that made the ones that
Makes sense.
that rattled.
Okay, I have a question for you.
What's that?
Okay, if you're going fishing, right, with the wife or by yourself, don't matter, right?
Yeah.
And what is your major primary lure to use fishing?
Depends on what I'm doing.
Okay, if you go to our spot, right,
If I go still fishing, it's gonna be a hook.
a jig head, right, a big jig head.
If it's trolling, most likely I'm gonna be getting out my yellow 5 of diamonds.
Yes,
Tell me,
you got lottos now.
because I mean it's
It-
easy.
it works.
I know how far to put it out. I know how, with the speed of my boat. I mean how far
Yes.
it goes down, the whole bit. Like I know stuff like that, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
sometimes I'll use the other stuff, but I never really had, except for that white one, right?
Yeah.
That I got from the what do you call it there? The
Tackle grab.
yeah. Except for that one,
Yeah.
all the other ones I really didn't get anything. I got one time a long time ago. I went out. This is before, way before I got married.
Yep.
I went in the rowboat, and I said I'm going fishing. So here I am. I'm rowing,
To your
right?
spot, right?
And no, I'm just rowing around the cottage, and I put just one of those like a pencil bait, right?
Yeah. Jerk bait. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I think it was medium depth, right? Say about
Yeah.
6 to 10 feet, right?
A shad bait. A little shad bait.
Depending on
bait.
how how fast you're going, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm rowing, so I'm not going Olympic speeds here. So I go around the cottages, like I turn right, I go around the cottages there, and then I come back around, and that little island there, just before the big island, I noticed my lure was floating on the top of the water.
The
I
surface,
said,
yeah.
okay, maybe got snagged, got
Or tangled up.
you know what I
whatever.
mean, weeds, whatever. So I start reeling in, and I caught a fish. I said, okay, that's good. It's the only fish I caught. You know,
Oh, it's not that it's called fishing, not catching. I have to say.
so you know, I mean, for the most part, that's what I use. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
But
swap
remember-
my baits. I don't do whatever.
you
And
know,
then usually, if I put one on, I keep it for the night because
Yeah.
I don't swap it or whatever.
I
Because I had a great grandfather back in the day, and that's what he would do, right? So
I do a lot too.
my grandfather. Yeah, I know. That's why I tell you to keep your bait wet. And my great grandfather. We went out for a boat ride. So my great grandfather says, I want to go fishing. Oh my grandfather says, okay. It was his father-in-law, right?
Yep.
My grandmother's father. Loved the man. I mean, he was awesome. He used to walk from Elm, right where the center is, to the back road where Del Knight was, to Buffalo Anchorite every day to go to work.
Shit.
Yeah. Okay. So all these kids that don't want to walk a block, yeah. You know what I say about that.
Yes.
So anyway, that's another story. So he decides he wants to go fishing. So, okay. I'm just a kid here. You know what I mean? I'm just I'm like 10 at the most, 9, 10 years old. Right? So I'm sitting there. I'd love to hang out with my grandfather. You know what I mean? And anything he did, he wanted to include me in. I was in it. We used to go for walks at 5:00 in the morning. To one, you know what I mean, all the time. We go picking berries, whatever. Like, you know, spend time with your family because you never know how much time you got left. So anyway, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
So we went fishing, and he'd travel like 5 feet, wouldn't catch anything, changes his lure. By the time he changed his lure, he traveled another 10 feet. And then he put it back in, traveled another 5 feet, not catch anything, changed his lure. So I'm looking at that, right? My mind was always going. It still does, sir. So my mind's always going. I'm going. I look at my grandfather. My grandfather just did one of these things. Okay. He never caught a thing. Why? Because his lure was out of the water more than was in it. So at that point, I said, nah, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my lure in the water.
And to the date,
If I choose the wrong lure or the wrong bait for that day, so what? I'm enjoying the company I'm with.
Yep.
I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be nice to catch fish. I'm not really a big fish eater. You know what I mean? I will say that. Most of the fish goes to people that eat fish. But if I'm by myself, it's catch and release. That's what it's going to be. I mean, because I'm not a big fish eater. That's fine. Not everybody likes it.
He's
right?
there for the sport.
So I enjoy going fishing. I enjoy the people I spend time with, stuff like that. Okay. So, like, my mind always goes. And I'm looking at this, and my mind's turning. You know, the gears are going. It's like today. Okay. We're going to go to the cottage. Drop some stuff off for Mom. The neighbor got her dog trimmed. Right? The husky? The youngest husky. Right? This thing loves to give hugs. man. This is awesome dogs. I mean, like I was helping the neighbor there, and they both all three came to me there. I mean, it was awesome. It was a fucking best day, man. So anyway, I love dogs. So I love animals. Period. Anyway, that's besides the point. So she got her dog trimmed, $100. Okay, all right. The wife's sister, little dog, little Shih Tzu, got her dog trimmed, $100.
Jeez.
So my mind's going. Driving to the cottage. 20 minutes later, I turn to the wife and say, listen, you know how sad that sounds? And she goes, what? I was like, half an hour ago, the freaking neighbor told us about the dog. So she's wondering what I'm talking about. You know, the fact that she's still with me there, kudos to her. Anyway, so I turned around and said, that's sad. I said, the neighbor got her husky, okay, a little bit smaller than these huskies are a little bit smaller than
There's Zoe.
Zoe, okay, but they're still fairly large ball. They're medium-sized dogs. Like,
Yeah.
they're on the larger end of the medium-sized dog, right? $100. Get this dog trimmed. And huskies, I don't know if you know, have a ton of hair, a metric butt ton of hair. Not standard, metric. Okay, butt ton of hair. These things shed. They shed twice a year. The first 6 months of the year and the second 6 months of the year. These things shed.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one time when we thought there was snow or frost in her backyard, but no, it was the dog's hair. All three of them there, but you know, I mean, that's besides the point. So you look at a Shih Tzu, which is all about yay big. Okay?
Yeah.
$100. Now, who the hell is getting ripped off here? Yeah. So you go from, let's say, 50, 55-pound dog
Yeah.
with hair coming out of everywhere. Okay. Because it was all matted and stuff like that. She had to get it trimmed there.
Yeah.
She couldn't just watch it. $100. So you get a Shih Tzu who's, you know, I mean, this the Husky's clump of hair is about the size of a Shih Tzu. Okay, after you're done, like when we combed Zoe last time there, I mean, we had enough hair to make a Shih Tzu. I mean, pretty well. So, what the? Okay,
I can see a issue between 30 to 40 bucks.
$100? No.
Okay, I got a question. Where did she go? Do you know where she went? Get it done?
It's on third.
You mean the one with the Rapaz?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
They charge too much.
way too much. There's no way that a Shih Tzu costs $100.
Well,
I can only imagine how much. I didn't ask where the neighbor went, but if she didn't go to Wizard of Paws, yeah, like it's like saying, you know, what I mean, I'm going to shovel your driveway, which is a 1-car driveway, for the same price as a 2-car driveway next door.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, but anyway, that's besides the point. I digress. Do apologize. That's where my mind. That's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
It's always going, always going, always going. I mean,
I'm talking to this girl online lately, and we went for coffees, right? And she got a little poodle, same size as your sister-in-law's dog. She paid 100 at Wizard of Paws,
yeah,
$150.
it doesn't make sense.
I'm going, whoa. And then she goes, I got ripped off. I said, yes, you did. But sorry about the sidetrack, guys, on that dog thing.
When I found out it was $100 over there, I looked at, I mean, the sister-in-law's son, I said, "You kidding me? It's $100." And her sister says, "Yeah." Her other sister said, "Yeah, it's $100." I said, "How's it costing $100 for a dog that fits in the palm of my hand? Like literally, I pick it up with one hand. I could not do that with Zoe. I
With-
can't do that with the neighbor's dog. Like I probably could there, but
But my mom's dog, the lady, the poodle, right?
yeah,
For
lady, yeah.
for a trim or like a haircut, you forget, right? But my mom and dad bring her in. Max,
Yeah.
$30.
See, the thing is the thing with the Shih Tzu is you get hair around the hair,
Yeah,
and hair around here.
yeah, like a
Fur,
beard.
sorry, fur. It's fur, not hair.
Yeah.
So fur, they get fur around there, and it gets too much, right? And when in this dog there, it goes, it's like a little vibrating, vehicle there, like the little cars there that vibrates. I mean, this thing doesn't stop, right? And if you're hyper to start with, you know who I'm talking about, right? The dog doesn't calm down.
Yeah, but if you comb it enough, you don't need a haircut.
Well, eventually you will need the fur to be cut because they don't shed really.
But what yours? Will you ever go out to a
She
place?
sheds, man. She sheds.
Like,
I mean, she sheds just as much. 6 times, 6. She sheds twice a year.
Like
First 6 months, second 6 months. You know what I mean?
like bear.
Yeah, well, Bear has nothing on Zoe. Did
Bear
you not
sheds.
see the back of my truck, my friend? I mean, I just cleaned it, and now it's fully. I have to re-clean it.
Well, the day we went to the camp on main round weekend for the day, and Saturday your wife vacuumed it.
She didn't vacuum it. No,
I thought
she
she did.
vacuumed it with the new vacuum we got. Rigid vacuum. I mean, that thing was awesome. You have to take a picture of that. That's a good vacuum.
Okay.
Big vacuum. Remember when you emptied the water out of the boat the one time?
Yes.
And you had that vacuum,
Yes.
and it
The
had
yellow-
that little
The yellow one.
thing there where you can empty it from the bottom. Has a little screw thing.
Yeah.
When the water comes out,
Yeah.
it has the same thing, dude.
Oh no way.
Yeah, man. I mean, all I got to do is fix the switch on the other one. I'll have 2 of them. But the thing is the hose isn't like a grenade launcher like the other one.
Yeah.
How big the other one is? I mean, it's like you're holding a grenade launcher. You put it in reverse and you can shoot freaking potatoes at people. Oh, speaking of potatoes, I found my potato launcher, man.
Where at the cottage?
No, it was here, man.
All these years, you thought it was gone.
I don't know. So
Bring
I
the
turned
car-
around to the wife.
bring-
I said, "I'm keeping this, man. Has
What-
memories."
What'd she say?
Okay.
Bring it to the cottage. It goes to the pit.
Well, I don't know if he'll ever shoot another thing again there. I'd have to retape some of it there.
Oh yeah.
But it's like when I was a kid, and kid, I was a little younger,
you
20s.
you, me, Dave.
Mhm.
Yeah, I made one.
Yeah, we shot it at his place, man. We nearly launched
A golf ball, tennis ball.
we launched a tennis ball right into the baseball field.
Yes,
Thank God nobody was there.
but I made one, and my dad threw it out because said it was too dangerous for me.
Yeah, technically.
You know how my dad is with me, right? He's always protects with me. With my
Yeah, then again, he hits you in the head with a 2x4.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, anyways, back on track for a minute there because it's getting late.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna have to call it pretty soon there, but yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
and I got to show you a lure that we use a lot, but Contract will use it more than I have because I wanted to get no bite on it, nothing on it, and he caught I think a walleye or a pike on it. I can't remember 4 or 5 pound pike or walleye.
dude, it's called steel.
Right here, right?
Yeah.
It's like it got fins at the bottom of here, like the fins right here. I move my fingers. There you go, right there, the fins.
Yeah.
right there. It's like because it swims, it goes like this in the water, right? So I'm looking for, or somebody can make me one. A few of them with fiber diamonds going down.
Yeah.
Yellow and fiber diamonds on this because this is a good lure. Because remember you had a blue one, I had a green one. Paul had
I have a gold one.
yes, yeah, from me.
I had silver and the gold one. No,
Yeah.
those were
I bought
Those
these from
were-
the dollar store for $2 a piece.
Yeah. I'm not
And-
talking about your PP one there.
No. So remember we went with my father at where we at in Falls.
Yeah.
I had a green one. You had a blue one. Paul had a
Yeah.
red one, and my dad had a brown one. And we all catching pike on these lures like this kind of style. But the lure, the one I had, it was just a little bit smaller, but still catching still catching big pike. But
Story.
where we
No,
at?
yeah, you were.
We
I'm
want
just kidding.
to get some walleye too. And the way my dad cleaned the fish, with the way my dad cleans fish, the bone stays in. We went, oh no. And my mom cooks it up. We all had a fish fry.
Wow. Remember your mom
With those chicken?
trying to tell us that pike are better than walleye
Yes.
because there's less bones. I like so we're all looking and we're just younger. Like we were in their 20s, right?
We were sitting
And
there
then
with
we're
my dad.
we look at her. And then we
Yeah.
look at your dad and your dad just smiles.
And then grabs his beer, take a drink, goes, don't worry about it. Just let it be.
And he sits his beer and says, just drink your beer. All right. All right, man. Right on, man.
And then my mom is the pike fan. That's fine because sometimes I catch pike.
She
And
confused the two, is what it was.
so she likes pike. That's it. I like my walleye.
And your sister Darner said the same thing.
Yes.
I remember that. I'm going.
And Darlene denies this to me a lot now these days. Because when my mom cleans the fish, my dad cleans it. My mom cooks it, right? And she won't eat the fish until my dad breaks it up for her when she was younger,
Mm-hmm.
right? I went, Dar, you remember Dad used to break your fish up? He goes, no. Now today, she eats it like a full fillet herself.
Well, she's a big girl now, eh?
Yeah, she put up her pull-ups.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big girl
she's,
now.
she's going out with somebody else now.
So, and then he treats her like better than the other guy did. But anyways,
just say treat her good. Let's just put it down.
yeah, treats her good now.
Yeah, we don't know the whole story, so we're not going to get into it.
So, I'm still waiting for her to invite.
Don't hold your breath.
You know, it's been a couple years now at the camp. I went to the camp for a weekend, but I'm hoping to go fishing. But no. If I go to the camp to Red Pine Lodge, I gotta make sure I got $7 in my pocket.
Why?
That's my weekend fee.
You got to pay to go there?
Yeah, not to rob Darlene. To the front desk.
You just don't go to the front desk.
They don't. And then Darlene gets who was out of the camp. You owe me $7.
That doesn't make sense, dude. I can have people at my fucking camp. They probably pay fucking fees and everything.
And then for
Sorry
the day,
for the swearing there, but
for the day, if I go for the day, I went with Rob for the day because you need somebody to help out carry big stuff, right? So I went with him. I don't mind going, but you know me, right? You get out of my apartment, go in the bush. It's a good thing.
yeah.
And Darlene went with camp the weekend after that with Rob for the weekend. She goes, "You owe me $2 for your brother." For the day is $2.
That doesn't make sense, dude.
It's like a campsite like the wife's brother goes to. like that. Oh, camper.
Yeah. You don't pay
You remember the way we added? My mom says,
unless you're using their resources.
I don't
Other
know.
than the people that you're at, you should not have to pay. That's a money grab.
It
That
is.
is a money grab.
You remember JC?
Just say that you go there, your family. Because if it's your family, right? Just say he's part of the family. So I ain't paying shit.
So, you
Like
know,
if you're going to be out there all the time, you're part of the family.
you know, the way we added JC there. They call him J. His name is J A Y, and CEE at the end.
Yeah, just like the girl that we used to go to school with. Yeah.
So he says to me, "Go, you know, it's $5 a day, right? Okay, because my mom says, be sure to have $5 with you. Remember that when we went to visit for the day?
Yeah.
He said $5, and then the guy says, JC says to my dad, "Is that your sons?" My dad says, "Yeah, they're my sons." Okay, it's free.
Like if you're not using any of the resources, so there's nothing that you should have to pay.
Okay,
Because they probably pay a fee to be there.
Darlene pays so much a month. Robert Darlene pays so much a year,
Yeah.
and plus $200 for hydro.
What? Oh yeah, they get hydro. Yeah.
Yeah, $200 a hydro, right? Darlene pays half a hydro, and Rob pays the other half.
What is this half shit?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry, people.
But anyways,
And I met my wife. She wasn't my wife at the time.
he was a girlfriend.
Obviously, she was my girlfriend at one point.
She left his girlfriend and married a wife.
Then I had to leave my girlfriend and get a wife, right? But anyway, when I met my girlfriend, my future wife, we were together. When we decided that we were together, we were together. It's none of this half and half crap. So it didn't matter if she paid or I paid. It still came out to the same thing. You can't. And then if she needed help with if she needed money for something to pay for a bill that she had in her name, or vice versa, that's what we did. You don't him and her and this and that and whatever. What, you don't plan on being together for the rest of your life? Is that what it is? You got to keep it separate?
Yeah.
That don't make sense to me, man. Again, we're going off topic, but you know,
sorry about that, guys.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna say this one more thing, and then we'll go back to topic here. I'm lucky. I find I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world. I got a wife. You know what I mean? And we care for each other every day that we're alive.
So make sure you're okay.
And it's not an issue. There's no issue or whatever. It's not, well, you know, he allows me, she allows me. No. Nobody stops anybody from doing whatever because there's no reason for it. We let each other know where we're going because that's what you do.
It reminds me of your parents, because your dad told me, if my wife says you're coming for dinner, it's all good.
Like I'll turn around and say, okay, we're doing okay. Sounds good, man. I come home from work, and I'm lucky. I feel I'm lucky because I don't have to cook dinner. I get my lunches made for me. I'm lucky. You know, I appreciate everything that happens. Why? Because you hear all these other stories of these guys and whatever, and
take it for granted.
Control. There is no control.
Some people take it for granted.
And people get taken for granted, and there's no greener grass.
That's right.
Don't be with somebody that you don't love or care about, that you don't want to just have whatever sex or money or whatever. That's not the reason to be with somebody.
Oh, he's rich. I'm gonna marry him.
Trust me, I ain't rich.
Well, I'm not
far from it. You know what I mean? And you know what? It's like, having relations, whatever. It is what it is, man. We're
Mm-hmm.
together to be together. We work, they say, well, it's not a team. Yeah, it's kind of a team. Not everybody in the team has the same job now, right? You look at football. Not everybody's a quarterback. Not everybody's a linebacker. Not everybody's defense. You
Nobody's a
need
receiver.
every piece of the team to make a good team. Like every player to make a good team.
Yeah.
So for our team to work, it takes me and the wife. That's it. And this thing there or whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. You know what, man? I count myself lucky every day. I get up in the morning. I'm lucky because I'm up. I got a job. Some people can't even get a job. Why? Well, we won't get into that. If you're white, you have trouble getting a job. Okay? Especially if you're male. So, you know what I mean? I got a job to go to. I'm not behind on anything. I got a roof over my head. I got food. Not a shit ton of food, but I got food.
Mm-hmm.
I got gas in my vehicle. Right?
Yep.
I'm lucky. I count myself lucky every day. And I get to be with her. And I got Zoe.
And then you got a stepson.
Yeah. And I got a little man.
And the little man, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes
And it's you got to count yourself lucky. Because there's a lot of people that want what you have.
yeah, they're jealous sometimes, or wish they had it.
Well, there's some people that don't have what you have. There's people that don't even have houses.
I know. I know one person that wish what you had.
Yeah.
It still does wishes what you have.
Oh, yeah. Don't even start that one.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah, Kenyan. Yeah.
No,
Which one?
the one who got it was a game with you between you and the wife. It was a game with his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Who could get married first, engaged first?
Is that why you got a dog?
I don't think so. Anyway, I want to go there for that part.
Anyway, let's
Yeah.
not go there. Let's not go there. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's my thing.
Yeah,
There's nobody who controls anything.
no.
I do this thing. Wife's whatever.
What?
If she ever wants to come on here, she's more than happy to do so. You know what I mean?
We're not gonna force her. We get to ask her ahead of time, like a advance, saying, "Come on and talk about fishing with us, and tell your experience, what kind of lures that you like to use." And I know why it is right away. What she likes.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Red Devils, right? Because I bought her a pack for her. She goes to me. We're in the boat last summer. She goes, Christmas coming around the corner, eh, Sean? I said, what do you mean? He goes, I'm getting low on my Devils. I went, oh, that's a hint. And JC goes, he's shaking his head. He went,
You got her, Sea Otter.
And I bought you some package, a pack of lures because you're low on your Red Devils on your spoons. So
it is what it is, my friend. It is
so
what it is. You know what I mean? And you get these people are selfish. Some people are just selfish, and then they're jealous, and there's this and that. You know what? Just live your life, because you're gonna be miserable if you try to catch up to somebody else.
If you're not happy, the other person's not going to be happy.
My old man used to tell me before he left this world, you don't chase buses or women. You always get left behind.
Mr. Roadhouse.
Yeah. No.
Harley Davidson, the Marvel Man.
Yes. Harley Davidson, the Marvel Man, my friend. The old man used to tell me before he left this world.
Yeah.
5 rules. Playing game pool for cash.
Roadhouse. Nobody wins the fight.
Yeah. It's true. Who's going to win in the fight? Nobody. Fight. The violence is not the answer.
No.
Okay. Violence might not be the answer, but it's basically a training tool.
Yep.
How do people learn not to do something? They get hurt.
Yep.
How'd you learn not to touch a wood stove? You got burnt. That's fun.
With
Okay.
my stove. With my stove. I mean my old man stove.
Yeah.
You know,
Man,
touched
you
out.
just had to stand 10 feet from that stove and you get burnt.
Well,
You get a suntan. I mean, you would get a literal suntan from this stove.
it was. He comes in one day in the winter time. He opens his door. He comes downstairs. You know what I mean? We're going to the store for a walk to the store and walk around. I said, okay. Why? Because the stove is so freaking. You know how you go
That
to,
thing was cherry red. Cherry red.
because you know how you do a blacksmith. I make a knife or hooks, whatever. Right? That was how you put it in the coals for hours for turn bright cherry red. The stove was like that.
The whole stove.
Even
Body.
even half the chimney was red.
The body of the stove to like a couple inches on top of the chimney, which is because I know how thick those things are, was red. I mean, red. The only thing that wasn't red was the feet.
Yeah.
Okay?
He was coming
This
over.
guy's sitting in his room, half passed out. I said, dude, let's go.
So
we got to get you out of here because this is unreal. We walked out the door. The minute we opened the door, it's like we got smacked in the face.
By heat?
No, cold, because we went outside.
Remember? Oh, yeah. Coming in, got hit by heat.
I mean, yeah.
So. But the thing is, you remember, you were coming over to play video games with me. Mario Brothers, something like that.
You know, we were going to play on your computer.
And then he said, never mind about that.
No, we went outside because, geez, it's too hot.
And then my dad got rid of it because my parents were thinking of doing a foster care.
Yeah.
And then they told him. My dad looked at him and laughed. Wonder why? Because we had 9 kids in the house plus grandkids walking around, and nobody got hurt on that stove.
Yeah,
that I know of.
Like yeah. Don't get me started on that because they screwed over my mom with my nephew with that. But anyway.
Yeah. So I might never mind. So, anyways,
that foster thing there was stupid because basically my mom took over my nephew because my sister was having issues.
Young and issue, yeah, like my sister.
She was having issues. She was too young to have a kid, right? It's what it is. So they said, well, you can get this, you can get that, you can do, because you're taking care of somebody else's child. All right. So she applied for it, and then they gave her so much problems. She said, screw it. I mean, you make it way too hard for good people to take care of young kids until their parents are ready to take over.
So was your mom took full custody?
Yeah, she took custody until it was time for Angel to take over. Yeah, for her to take over, but
okay. Oh, that's what.
Is
that where you moved back to the trailer park?
No, they weren't. They weren't at the trailer park yet. It's not until she met her husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's besides the point.
So, are you still thinking of buying those crankbait boxes I sent you a while back?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some because I don't like the way it's sitting in my box.
Yeah, you can take two long ones, right? Right, the center ones you have, right, side by side, and you take the 2 small ones, top to bottom. You may fit 4, 2 on top, 2 at the bottom because the way the slots are. You see my box, right?
Hey man, I'm not checking out your box.
So you see my case, right? You can buy green, you can buy green, red, purple, different colors.
Yeah.
And I seen guys use it for their spoons too.
Yeah.
but made for crankbaits and jerkbaits.
They're for whatever you want to put in there.
And the ones I wanted years ago couldn't get them because the company couldn't get back to me.
Yeah.
It's called the Crank Caddy. A little box, and it slants down like this. You slide the baits in there, and then it's on the slant. Here, it's still, it's basically the same thing, but different format style.
Maybe it didn't work. Maybe that's why.
They're still out there, but they're not helping me out with me.
No. Well.
They got my friend David in Timmins here. He had a few of those. You got to hold him, and then they sponsored him because he runs the walleye trail in Timmins.
Oh, nice.
He was in the tournament, so I guess he gave him two. He bought 4 for crankbaits for
Yeah.
him, and then he got 2 free ones. And then he got sponsored with them.
Wow. Doesn't mean that there's no reason they shouldn't get back to you for you to be able to purchase them.
I know.
I mean, it's stupid.
That's what I said. So I went, never mind.
It's called poor customer service.
You know.
I don't care if you're the lowest of the low, or you think the person's lowest of the low, or the guy on top. They're all equal to be a customer.
Yeah.
I don't care if you buy one of my thing or 10 of them. You know what I mean? If you buy your one thing and you really like it, and you tell your buddy, you tell your 15 your friends or whatever, you go fishing and people are looking at, hey man, look at this, because the chances of, the guys on top going fishing, in these low places or these little outside things are very slim to line.
Yep.
They're gonna be go into the big lakes and stuff like that. And all these people already pretty well have it. So if you on the other hand, you go to the river, you go to these little creeks, you go this, and then some dude's gonna look at it, say, hey man, where'd you get that? Oh, I got it from here, man. Look at this. And you show them, boom, all of a sudden it's another customer. Oh yeah. Well, your one is now 2.
Yeah, and then
he shows somebody else. Just saying that day you meet 3 people that like it. So
yep.
All of a sudden your one becomes 4.
Yeah, it is. So on.
And that 4 turns into 10 to 20 to 50. So you sold, by selling to you, they sold more than they would have sold to this guy here who only bought 6. And yeah, he's on some walleye tournament, this and that. Most of the other guys have different stuff anyway. You know what I mean? The guys that he speaks to already have stuff like this. The people you speak to don't.
And they're from he's from the, I think, Ohio.
Well,
in the States.
But that's what I mean about that. I mean, people don't understand the basics of customer service.
Yeah.
Like I know customer service. I've been doing customer service
Intellitex, right?
for like 30 years, 30 plus years. And I know how to talk to people.
Well, I don't.
Okay. And I'm not saying I really enjoy talking to people.
Well, I'm starting to.
I'm just saying, I can't. You know what? I'm sitting at work. I'm doing my normal job. Getting people through, making it easier for everybody to get in and out. You know what I mean? I'm a security guard, man. That's what I do. I'm not no cop, rent-a-cop, or whatever they want to call them. I'm a guy who's part of the safety system at work. Make sure everybody gets in and out safe. Make sure the rules are followed. And if they don't, I pass it up the chain, right?
Yeah.
Well, these guys from Levert, right? They're a company that, they hire people and then they get contractors to put people in like places like the mine and all that, right? So they're commodities people, right? So somebody needs somebody, but they don't want to hire somebody, but they just need them to do some work.
Right.
That's who they do. They get Levert, Workforce, one of those guys, right? Well, these guys from Levert, and these guys were, we were pretty high up with Levert, like just below the boss, right? They came over to talk to, somebody at work. I said, okay, well, yeah, no problem. This and that. Let's go over it. Got them in and out real quick. Spoke to them. Hey, how's it going? This and that. Hey, this and that. Blah, blah, blah. Did my normal thing. And then they came in, they left. Okay, no big deal. I got this thank you card from the boss,
Nice.
the big boss, saying these guys were there and they really appreciated how you did your job. Wow. Yeah. Thanks.
Not like
Because
the
that's what I do. It's called customer service.
Yeah.
So even though I'm not dealing with quote unquote customers, I'm still dealing with customers. The people that come in are basically, you got to look at them as customers.
Yes.
Just like when I used to fix the ATMs and stuff like that. I go to a bank. Well, the bank's my customer. I don't look at it as somebody else's customer. This is my customer. I'm going to see what I could do to help them.
Yes.
That's what you do.
It's like it's like the guy who came in looking for the pizza place, the pizza who ordered the pizza.
The what?
The pizza guy.
What pizza guy?
The guy came on a lot at work.
Oh yeah.
That moron.
yeah. I mean, and people will get rude.
So
People will say whatever to you, but you know what? You don't even know who I am. So how are you trying to insult me, right? So I don't care. Say whatever you want. This is what the deals are, and this is what it is.
Yep.
But you got to do it to be nice, right? So if I sold something and somebody got a hold of me, say, "Hey, man, I'm looking to get this," I wouldn't ignore them. You don't ignore people.
No, like
They could have sold 50 more just by selling one to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, to me, even if we had a chance to buy one of those, I wouldn't. Because if they're not even getting a hold of the person that they don't think is worthy, I don't know what their thinking was. But that right there, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. You don't get my business at this point.
No,
I don't care if I'm on top of the top here.
I just stopped and then ignored it.
Like I'm not the like even if we were out there running tournaments and this and that, and they came up to us, sorry, dude. I mean, you had a chance, and you blew it. You blew it. You got guys there that make lures or whatever. Here you go. Try this out. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Just because you make a comment, you're not even asking for it. And here you go. Thanks.
Tell me what you think.
Those are the guys.
Let me know.
Those are the guys that you want to help. Right?
Yeah.
I don't care how good your design is. 10 years is as long as the patent lasts. So if they patent that, you can pull that patent, and after 10 years, you can make it.
Yep.
So, yeah. Enjoy that for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. But if you're rude to somebody else, that's not cool.
But
that's way not cool.
We talk back and forth, right? And then Dave posted on Facebook. This is with my old account, and he posted on Facebook. He was saying, "Okay, I got," and then I messaged him and said, "How can you get it before I did?" Well, they got a hold of me because I'm in the Wally Trail, and I write stories in magazines for people, and in the Timmins Times for a while, articles for fishing. I went, okay.
I don't even know who the guy is. I don't even know who that guy is. I mean, he wouldn't have sold me nothing. You know what I mean? You would have sold me something.
I think you met him. The year we went to the sportsman show. He worked for Mikey's.
Possible.
But he doesn't work for Mikey's. He's a sponsor for Mikey's. But he had to do time in at the sportsman show. Helps to tow the boats.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Mikey's.
Yes, I know. I just put that in there. Where he's from? I think you met him.
Oh, I know. They screwed over my brother-in-law. and my stepson. You know what I mean?
yeah, and then the other one there, it's a good company.
Yeah. And they didn't even get back to me when I wanted to buy a 4-wheeler. So
Yep.
they lost out the sale. Like, not that I'm buying a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And my brother-in-law bought a 4-wheeler off him. Will never buy another 4-wheeler off him again.
You know Ross, right?
Yeah.
Well, he brought his bike in, get service checked, relying, whatever,
Hmm.
how you say it there. What do you call that?
Yeah.
I do too much. You need to.
Yeah.
Anyway, he brought it here. He says, "Bring it here, and we will get to it when we can."
Yeah. I know. Like they got like 4 or 5 mechanics. Okay,
Why
you're
don't
not busy. Maybe you need to hire another one. Like, really? You know what you do? You bring the Borks. Cochran.
what? Why do
He'll
why
get
the
in. You know what I mean? I'll tell you something right now. My brother-in-law bought a boat in Cochrane because he didn't want to buy it from here. They want to buy it from Mikey's.
or anywhere?
So he gets his brand new boat. He goes and buys. He tells them that he wants to buy the cover. They order the wrong cover because the snaps are wrong. So instead of ordering the right cover, they don't. They say they got to change out the snaps, right? Because it's like a bass boat, and you know what I mean. And it's
Okay.
got a cover a fitted cover, so it snaps onto the side of the boat, right?
Right.
So they said, "Well, no, we got to change the snap." Well, no, you got to order me the right freaking part. So they said, "Okay, whatever." $300 later.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. That's just for the snaps, because they didn't order the part. They've ordered the part online, and they said, "Well, we got to ship it to whatever."
So
they shipped it to freaking Mikey's to get it done.
the one that Cochrane serves you to Mikey's?
No, they ordered it online, I think.
Oh, okay.
So they ordered it. Mikey's ordered it wrong. Some of that. I don't know what to do. I guess they gave him another try because they didn't feel like going all the way to Cochrane, right?
Yeah.
Which to me is an hour and 45. Who cares, man? It's worth the money.
You know John Eve, right?
Yeah.
Al's father.
Yeah. You gonna let me finish the story before you get into yours?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, bro. So $300 later, and then the mechanic was rude to him. Said whatever, this and that, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden they go to bring the boat to the lake. It doesn't run. They can't start it.
What the fuck did you do?
So
what the heck did you do to it?
One of the wires was loose. Okay. Now I've had a boat for it was my grandfather's, then it became mine there.
Yeah.
I think it was 86.
Yeah.
Okay. The wiring on that boat since 86 has never been loose.
No.
To the starter. Okay.
I've seen a lot of boats.
Why is it loose? Why is it loose? So he called the Borks. Says I need to bring it there. Or actually, no, they brought it. His wife's stepfather brought it to Cochrane.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Brought it to Cochrane. They didn't even have an appointment. So they said, yep, we'll take a look at it. Turned out it was a loose wire. Didn't turn and put off.
Nice. Was that warranty still, I guess?
Possible. They bought the boat there, so.
Yeah.
And then all it was loose wire.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at my brother-in-law and said, that shit don't happen.
They,
The chances of a negative connection being loose on your starter
they tamper with it.
is slim to none.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're shaking it around or whatever, they torque those things at the factory.
Yep.
And it ran for how long? I think it was the second year, 2 years before this happened. It
Right.
could have been 1 year. The whole year it ran. And he used it a lot. So if it was loose from the factory, it would have fallen off right away.
Yes, sir.
So
Like I said, they tampered with it.
yeah, don't get me started with Mikey's. Well, you already did, but that's besides the point.
So,
But what about Jean-Yves, man?
well, he had
Tell
the
us.
motor. He bought a motor in Timmins for many moons, right? And then he went. Nobody here. He didn't like the prices up here, so he brought it to Cochrane, and Cochrane says, "You need to buy it here, but we gotta look at it." And Johnny paid a little bit cheaper.
What are you doing?
So he paid a little cheaper than up here.
Did you take your bandage off? Hey, did you take your bandage off, sweetie?
What happened to her?
She's got a little sore on her foot there.
Uh-huh.
We think it's from maybe some weed in the backyard there.
Okay.
Some of the weeds have spikes or whatever.
Oh, it's like
And then she keeps on licking at it. So we got these bandages that stick to themselves.
okay.
Real nice stuff, man. These bandages stick to themselves so they don't stick to the dog's fur.
No.
Yeah. So she doesn't like it, but too bad. I mean,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna go around being sore. Mm-mm. Not my
I
dog.
yeah, I understand what your brother-in-law going through. In Cochrane, it's a little bit further to go, but it's worth the money.
Well, just like Valgagne. Drive a little, save a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that commercial years ago? And you go to North Bay, we pay your mileage,
Yeah.
like Maclang, I think it's called,
No, Mac Lang. Sunny Sunridge.
or something like that. Maclang.
Yeah. I remember singing it with somebody. I can't remember who. It's one of my sister's friends there.
So,
I don't know. We're just doesn't matter. That's
John,
another-
John, he brought me into Cochrane. Came back to
Mhm.
Timmins the same day. But he visited people on the way to Cochrane.
Mhm.
Right, he has families in Erico Falls, stuff like that. So we visited them, brought a boat in, visited them on the way home, and then 2 days later, got a phone call back. He says, "We're done. The motor's ready."
Yeah.
They're quick. He says, Mikey told me I need this part, and then you go to Albert's. Boards. I think it was called.
Borks. Yeah.
Yeah, Borks. He goes there, and he says, "Only need one part."
Yeah. Mhm.
And then, why spend over 300 to $400 for 4 or 5 parts you don't need? Only need one.
No, yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's ridiculous. Just like my grandfather brought that boat, the boat that I have, in to make sure, like, he wanted them to tune up the motor, right? And paid whatever amount.
Mm-hmm.
Paid whatever amount for it.
Yep.
Said, okay. We put it in the water. It ran like a piece of garbage. It wouldn't run, wouldn't idle, this and that. I had to adjust it. I said, this is what I thought, I thought this is what he paid for. It's like, if you can't do it, get out of the business.
Yeah.
Stop screwing people.
Yes. I like what's his name there? He's off of commercial.
Yeah, but he doesn't do motorboats.
No,
He
Big
just
Mo.
does everything but. He does
used to-
lawnmowers, he does
Well, he used to
all
do
kinds
motors.
of weed whackers, whatever there, but he doesn't do motors.
Well, I used to at one point because my dad wrung his boat there, his motor there one time.
Yeah, but he hasn't in a long time. So.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Mo.
Big Mo.
Yeah, Big Mo.
I don't know if he's still around or not.
You don't do it no more.
I
No
don't know.
more.
I don't know if he's still around or not.
I don't know. I haven't seen his business for a while.
But my friend Ross, well, actually, an old friend of mine, I should say
Mhm.
now, and he bought this Coleman motor from Canadian Tire years ago, and it's still in the box, probably today.
Yeah.
It's not a need for him. It's a
Mhm.
want. You see something, and then
Dude.
he buys it. He buys this lure, right? He doesn't catch no fish with it. You know what he does with it? Sean takes it home.
Yeah, well, he's got. He doesn't have whatever. He's got. I can buy what I want money. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which
So
is nice, but
so
you know.
we go fishing with him in his boat at Mike's cottage, and I put that lure on my line. Guess what I caught? Fish.
Yeah.
He goes, it works. Because it goes, not the right species. I said, I know, this lake got a lot of pike in it.
Yeah. But anyway, at that point,
It's almost 3 hours. Almost 3 hours.
2 hours 40 minutes. About.
Yeah.
So
So
we're gonna leave it at that. I mean, we kind of strayed from whatever. We got into some serious content there, whatever there. But you know, what I mean, the thing is customer service is very important, and you don't treat anybody any different than anybody else.
it doesn't matter. It's for cars, boats, tackle. It should be number one. I went out to the sportsman show. I'm looking for this spice for my fish, right? Called blackened spice. Blackened. You make blackened walleye, blackened pike, right? You take your cast iron upside down, and you heat it up to so hot, and you put it on there, and then it's not black burning. It's just the spices get dark.
Yeah.
They call it blackened, and I heard it's good. I want to try it. The only place that has it in town, it's a place J&B.
Oh yeah.
I seen pictures in the J&B now. They upgraded their storefront. You walk in now, all you see is fishing gear, and you go in the back is all the big boy toys.
Yeah.
Because Gray Solomon loves shopping at J&B. What you get his boats there, it's all the stuff for the tournaments he goes to, all the tournaments. And now he's guiding, and at first they were selling the stuff that he uses for tournaments at the beginning, just that stuff.
Yeah.
So that if you need something real fast, to order online, you had it in the store. Well, now they have more than just his stuff. You got other stuff too for beginner anglers, for the professionals, amateurs, you name it.
Come on, it's nice to have the big stuff, but not everybody can afford that stuff.
No.
When you think you're looking at a big boat, you know, tournament boat costing just as much as a small car.
Yep.
That's a lot. And then you need a vehicle to be able to pull said boat.
I know.
Which is at least 70 grand on top of that.
Yes, I know a guy. I'm not going to mention no names right now about him. And he does tournaments, the Walleye Trail in Timmins, and all the way through Cochrane to Hearst, Caps Casing, and then Sault Ste. Marie. Sometimes Wawa, depends what it is. What kind of fish they're doing in Wawa. And they, in Cochrane, no, Caps Casing, got a hold of him, the guy, and he got a boat, a truck for 10 years for sponsoring him. The game of truck for sponsoring. And he's driving the little truck he has, like a little Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
And it was harder on the gas because the boat was heavier than the truck. I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
you know, I mean,
electronics on it.
He worked hard for that. I mean, he worked hard for that.
And then he worked hard, and then he works at across from the hospital. The nursing home, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or where that place across the hospital. I don't know what he does. I didn't ask what are they getting into details. He says, "Yeah, you gave me a truck." I said, "Where is it?" He goes, "You're looking at it." I'm like, "Dang." But it's a Tundra.
It's a turd.
Yeah, he likes it. He's happy with it.
TRD.
So he says he likes it. Only reason why he likes
Understood.
it, the only why he says he likes it,
Because it's free.
no, not just that, because they're sponsoring him. And you can put their name on his shirt so that you have more people. And then
And it's free.
and plus he's advertising.
Yeah, and it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
I wish I could take my logo. But
No, it'd be fun to do some tournaments. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to have.
I really want to get that boat done, fixed real good, painted up real nice, fix the boards in the front on top.
Yeah.
Change the boards if we can.
Yeah.
And then in the back to try and put a live well in there. It don't have to be so big, but big enough, right? And you can do some tournaments. The tournament over at they had it this past weekend. This past weekend.
Yeah.
Fuck! It's almost $250 a piece.
Yeah.
For two people in the boat.
Yeah, because they got.
100
It's because they have lots of
Prize-
prizes. But the thing is, you know, what I mean, they should have tournaments, you know, to start with where you're not paying an arm and a leg. Okay,
Well,
so you're gonna pay $500 for two people, right? What do you get out of it?
sometimes you win that little rowboat, like a little aluminum London boat, a small one like we had the cottage.
Yeah, like, yeah, I get it, but when you're getting to the spending money to go fishing, and there's like rules galore there.
Yeah, you got
There's got to be something where, hey, it you know what I mean, it benefits all, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And a lot of this stuff does get donated.
Yes.
And I get it that they have to have the people there and this and that, but a lot of these people volunteer as well.
Yes.
So, like, where's this money going to? You know? So
there's this tournament. It's outside down south, anyways, somewhere, right? And they have it every year, and every fish different prizes. It's not just a walleye tournament. It's not just a pike tournament or bass. It's different species tournament, mixed tournament. And it's not a big tournament. It's small. It's $50 to get in.
But still, $50. It's $50, dude.
I know, but
you got to get your boat. You got to pay your gas. You got to pay like if they gave you a little bit of gas or a little bit of this or something, you know.
Well, sometimes
you got to make sure you're sitting there. You got to make sure your fish don't die. You got to make sure this, make sure that. I mean, there's a lot to it, right?
Yes.
But I'm not saying it's not really worth it. But it is if you start off. You're not going to start off with something you pay $500 for you and your buddy.
No.
That's not a starting tournament here. You know what I mean?
SJ. His partner wasn't sure. His partner wasn't going to sure yet. He was going to go Gamma tournament for the walleye tournament. And Dan said, SJ says, you know, Sean, I'm looking for somebody. If you're interested, I'm all for it. He said, I said, I'm forward to it, but I can't pay the $150 for you. He said, I got it for you. I got the $150, and just pay me back when you can. Right? So he calls me up saying, my partner changed his mind. He's coming now. All I had to do was pay my room and my food. That's it.
Well, that's the thing. Unless it's in your area, you got to pay for that.
So
but, I mean, if that's what you do for a living, that's good.
I seen a guy. Remember those box campers sit on top of your box, your truck,
Yeah.
and look at my bed on top of your hood, your roof. Your bed goes
Yeah.
on top of your roof. That a lot of guys do that in these tournaments. They go from Cochrane, all the way to Sault Ste. Marie, all the way to Hearst, and then they park it to the lakes where they're fishing, off the side. Nobody sees them.
If they allow it.
Yeah,
There's some places that you can't do that.
it's like here. You go down Craft Creek Road, Sandy Falls Road, right down that trail. You can go down the road there, and then the boat launch, and got the area there open, all open. People got kicked out there with their campers.
Mm-hmm. Especially now that you can't fish off the boat launch.
Now you can
You
now.
change that again?
You can now because it used to be it's a sanctuary till June 15th yesterday. Me and Kenny got caught one time. I'm looking around. I said, he goes, sir, your license for fishing? Yeah. Okay, I showed him. Okay, all right. You know you can't fish here, right? What do you mean? There is a sanctuary. There's no sign here. He goes, look up. I look up. I think some idiot took it off the tree and put it up higher.
It's got to be viewable. Like, you know what I mean?
I know. I looked up and the guy goes, okay, you didn't see it because it's way up there. So I let you guys go. So me and Kenny packed up. And Kenny, I see Kenny's face. He doesn't want to go punch him in the face.
What's the use? The rules are the rules, bud.
So every year now, I just do a launch by boat there.
Well, yeah, it's a boat launch, bud.
But I gotta go up further past the sanctuary.
What do you mean walk? You're in a boat.
I meant, you know what I mean? Ride your boat up there. Sorry, guys. So, sanctuary, you go up.
Man,
boat.
if you're putting your boat in the water and you walk, you're doing it wrong.
Sorry. You know where I am. You know where I am. In Bedrock. Okay, I'm walking with my boat.
Yeah. You got little flippers on and you're doing this thing there and move your boat. Yeah.
So, yeah, you go up so far up from Sanctuary. I don't know where it is because I don't go there till after 15th. Today is a good day to go there now, but not right now though. About too dark. But other than that, yeah. And you know how your license, you got 2 and 4 limits to keep.
Yeah.
Right. Your sports it's 4, and your conference 8 or whatever. I can't remember. I still get all mixed up.
Sports is more than conservation.
Okay. Now they want to take the 4 away, but they're not sure when you're going to do it. They want to take the 4 away, put 2, because they're saying 2 is enough for one person.
Why?
Yep.
No. You got, for one person.
Yeah. And then,
what if you need to feed your family?
Yeah, the wife, the kids, and the mom and dad, the grandparents. You know, hey, mom and dad, you coming over for supper tonight? I'm doing a fish fry.
So what do? They got to sit in the boat so they can have a fish fry?
I'm guessing.
But anyway, we'll leave it at that. Because we're at almost 3 hours here.
Yeah, you remember I had the fish fry at Claude's house in Schumacher?
Yeah.
I had fish in my freezer. Claude had fish in his freezer. Kenny had fish in his freezer. And then another guy had fish in his freezer. So we all brought into the Claude's house. We had about 800 pounds of fish.
Yeah, 800 pounds. Right?
Yeah, because we weighed it on the table, on the tarp. We put it in the tarp, lift it up. It was scale. I said, "You sure it's 800 pounds, not the tarp?"
That and then he probably leaned over it and his stomach hit the fucking scale.
Yeah. Because I was worried about that because I had me and Paul in the house, and Paul never fished much like I did that those years. Because you see me, you come over for the weekend, and I take off for fishing with Kenny, and you Paul pay darkies for a couple hours,
Yeah.
and then Paul got Jerry. You got Jerry to order coffee from the Pizza Man.
That was wasn't Jerry who ordered, it was Paul.
I thought.
No,
you
Paul
got
knew
Jerry
the
to do it.
guy. Paul knew the guy who delivered. Right? So they
Yeah,
asked who's the delivery guy. Oh, it's this guy. Oh man, let me put him on the phone there. But he says, okay, I'm gonna be ordering this. And when you come to my house, are you able to pick up a couple coffees and then I'll pay you back when you get here?
extra. You're supposed to
He
pay
said,
extra.
yeah. He said, yeah, because he was Paul. He was a friend of Paul. I'm
Yeah.
going, oh, and that's before DoorDash and all this bull crap there.
Yeah.
So there was no home delivery of
Tim
Timmy.
Hortons. No.
So yeah, he got Timmy's delivered. I just had pizza. I didn't want Timmy's there,
But anybody know what Timmy is? They're a true Canadian.
Timmy Hortons.
Yeah, it's Tim Hortons, but by the hockey player from Toronto, but he was from Cochrane. Played Toronto Maple
He
Leafs.
played for Toronto, but he was from Cochrane.
And then his first store opened for Tim Hortons was in Hamilton.
Yep.
I thought it was Cochrane at first, but I was wrong.
I was wrong.
So, anyways, guys, we're gonna leave it at that, like Contlego said, because you're getting late. I can see his eyes are getting sleepy. So
Yeah, you're the one yawning there, bro. So was I, but that's okay. I'm allowed.
you have to because you work at more.
I took 2 trips to the cottage today, so yeah.
Oh, sheesh.
One to fix the tap, and the other one to bring stuff from my mom.
So, before you get out of here, it's laid up from mom.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
We got internet, brother. I got the 110 deal instead of the 148, the 40 deal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not any slower. So if anybody is contemplating going Starlink and they want to know if they should go with the $110 a month instead of the $140 a month, yeah, go to 110 because it's cheaper.
The other day, yesterday I had to set my box behind me because the TV was busting on me.
Dude, man, I had to reboot mine too.
I'm going.
Eastlink sucks.
Yeah. Anybody from Eastlink, listen. Anybody watching and listening to the Eastlink, don't buckle your ears.
I don't care. Their stuff sucks, and it blocks me being able to use Streamlabs.
Really?
Collabcam. Yeah, we tested it. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So Collabcam can be used on Eastlink, but it can be used on VNet, even though Eastlink is the cable person for both. Like, what the moo?
It's a big what?
Moo. Picture a bull. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, I should be able to do Collabcam. It's not like I'm doing anything else. No, let's not do that.
I got a question for you before we head out here for 7 minutes left.
You can have another one there. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, Albert's. Okay,
Yes.
Is it Albert now? I got their flyer in the mail the other day.
Fantastic.
It says here, buy 6 bags of lures, right? The little plastics you see there,
Yeah.
and you get a free hat.
Oh, there you go.
Right? And I'm going, and you know me with hats, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And the list goes on.
Including the ones in the box. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Dads aren't in the box.
Okay.
So it's like the Twister tails you get 6 of those. And I'm wondering, there's a problem. The hat costs $19.99. And the hat I don't like about it. It's just a back rubber band.
Dude, I see a problem right now. Okay.
What's that?
Okay. So how much is the things?
The hat is fine. It's value,
No.
but the
No.
the plastics,
Yes.
they don't tell me on the paper. There's no price.
What?
There's no price. No price.
What's that $39.99 at the bottom?
Oh, that's the taco bag.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
You know,
okay, so you need 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And that-
divide $20 by 6, and what do you get? You got a phone free. Come on. Work with it, buddy.
you can let me use my calculator. $20 divided by 3, by 6.
Yeah.
Oh, that's $3 a piece.
$3?
3.33.
So $3.34.
Yeah.
All right. So when you go there, not saying you will,
Right.
and they tell you the price, what's the chances of it being $3.34?
Off. It won't be. Probably be higher.
Okay.
It'd be like $4 or $5.
If you want to spend $20, buy it.
You know me. I spent the hat I'm wearing right now.
Mm-hmm.
The red one I got from Beamish
Mm-hmm.
is 15.
Okay. But think about it this way. If you were going to get that many anyway, then it's a good deal.
It's called Attack.
I know, but
ATT8.
if you were going to get that many anyway,
Yes.
then it's worth it. But if you're not, people would buy 6 packs of that just to get a free hat.
Yeah.
Or they could buy the hat for cheaper.
Yeah.
What you mean?
So
See, that's how my mind works. I mean, come on, dude.
so
You know what I mean? Okay, so I get it. That's cool. You know what I mean? If I was going to go there and say, okay, I want to get 6 packs of this, because me and my buddy, for me and my buddies there, and we're going to go out and we're going to go fishing. We're probably going to lose maybe 10% of that, 15 at the most, depending on where we're going fishing, whether it's the river or whatever. Okay, because you're gonna get losses, right? You're gonna lose a certain percentage because that's all part of fishing. Okay,
and then you
When
get
you
chewing
buy
up.
more,
You get chewing
you
up.
don't just buy
by
enough.
pikes.
How many times did we lose a lure and we wanted another lure like that and we didn't have any
No,
because it was going good, and they was catching fish, and then you get a snag and then snap.
it's
and
like
then
that one lure we had, that ghost lure we had there from River to Sea,
Yeah.
and then
Just
you
like-
caught that big walleye, and then you went, only got one.
And then today, you know what I mean? And then you get a snag, and then your friend says, I know how to drive a boat, and then he snaps your line, stuff like that. Shit like that. Stuff like that happens.
Anyways,
So you're going to get lost. Whatever you buy.
so
You know what I mean?
I
I don't know if it's 10%. I don't know if it's 5. I don't know if it's 15.
Okay.
It's going to be different for everybody. You know what I mean? Depending on where you go fishing, what the obstacles are, and all the bit. Okay.
Okay, I got a question for you
What the?
at 12 o'clock. This is my last question for the night.
Okay.
For sure now.
Okay.
So I got a question.
Okay.
Okay, this is my question to you. I know the answer is going to be right. Do I need any more plastics?
Well, yeah,
Grubs?
sure. Why wouldn't you?
Because it's like to say never have enough, right? Of lures in case you need that color again. You're not going to
Well,
have it.
it's kind of like those Crocs, where the guy has the lures on top of the Crocs,
Yeah.
and the fishing rod's inside the heel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But anyway,
That's not for me.
dude.
So,
There isn't enough or too much or whatever. You know
your
what I mean?
wife sent me that the Crocs, and you sent me it too at the same time. And then Lisa and you sent me a while back flip flops, Bass flip flops, and you said this is not you, brother.
No, but the thing is too much, whatever, this and that, blah blah blah. You know what? You know what I mean? There's people that do recreational drugs that spend a lot more than some
Yeah.
people spend on fishing stuff. Okay,
Yep.
90% of your stuff lately has been from the dollar store. Okay,
And now lately
Timo.
yeah.
So to me, that's not much.
Right here, $4.50 for 6-pack of a
Yeah.
half ounce.
You know what I mean?
Because I'd rather go somewhere that has a lot of snags more than where we go at the cottage, right? And if I loot these, oh wow, I paid $4.50.
You fish out the dock and you get snags like you're going on a style.
No, I'm talking about other spots.
Okay.
Like we went with your stepson, with the little man,
Yeah.
and then with the wife there, we go to the log, we ties to the log. I mean, boop, 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 or you ties the anchor in the back. It was better that way. You said.
Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, I'm
And,
gonna let you go at that point, man.
anyway, so he knows my answer now. What I know the answer. I knew right away. Never enough, because sometimes you could buy the same. I find grubs. It's a grub. They're all the same size sometimes. Because you could buy Mr. Twister. You could buy a Berkeley, and it looks almost identical, and the fish still bite it.
You know what, man? The way you are with lures, I like tools. I love
Yes,
tools.
yes.
I love tools. Why? Tools are useful. I work with my hands.
I call these tools.
a long time ago.
Tools of fishing.
Yeah. See, I worked with my hands for a long time.
Yeah.
Very long time. So, you know, when the neighbor asked, well, do you have a screwdriver? Yeah, I got a whole big drawer of just my screwdrivers. And that's not all of them. There's still a bunch in another bag.
And you
You
go
know
to
what I
and then you go to the spare room. You got a little Rubbermaid trays, pull towers, full of tools.
So, I love tools. If I had the money, I'd have a lot more tools than I got now.
Yeah, snap-ons.
No, not really. Not too keen on snap-ons. Mac tools are pretty good, but
What about Mastercraft?
Mastercraft are good and they're lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not that I ever use a lifetime warranty on a tool.
No.
I've seen some people do that and they were pretty brutal with the tool. But I will say this, okay? If you have never walked into a Snap-on tool truck and you get a chance, do it.
I never. I seen a lot.
You'll never. Okay, maybe it's not too exciting for some people, but when you walk in there and there's tools everywhere, and you love tools, and there's tools on the ceiling. I mean, dude, there's tools strapped to the ceiling.
It's like me going to Cabela's the first time.
Oh yeah. Your face, man. Your face dropped.
I saw the big moose in the front
You're
door.
like a kid in the candy store.
Yeah.
You know, your girlfriend at the time didn't understand what was going on. But that was a nice place, Cabela's.
Yeah.
So
I won't mind going back again someday.
there's tools on the ceiling. So I was sitting there, I was doing work for the guy who was going out with my sister. And you got the Snap-on guy who came in. And then he just said, "You want to look at the truck? There's a wild bear crap in the woods." Yeah, I'm in it. Okay, so I walk in there. It's like, I didn't say nothing for a good 10 minutes. I was just taking it in. He said, "This is my small truck. You should see my big truck." Dude, if you could bring your big truck, I will be looking at it. Tools. I mean, they got drawers full of tools.
Yep.
And he started pulling them out. They got this here, that here, this here. I mean, anything you can imagine is in that truck.
Power tools, you name it. Hand tools, power tools, you name it.
And the one thing about Snap-on, okay, what they do good is they got different colors. Okay. And they have boots for their air tools. So just say if you're a female or you're a guy that likes pink, they got pink. They got green. They got blue.
They got jackets. They got.
I mean, they got these rubber neoprene covers for their air tools. Okay, for all their tools, basically, like a bunch of tools, because your hands are full of grease. It's gonna get whatever. So instead of dirtying up a $300 tool, you're dirtying up a $20 neoprene cover, and then the next time the tool guy comes in, you just buy a new one.
And they come to your yard.
Yeah.
I don't know about Timmins.
Yeah, they do go there. It's just you have to have a garage, and I don't know if you have to have a certain amount of people.
Okay.
But man, that truck is awesome. Okay, Snap-on tools are nice. Okay. I find they're a little overpriced, but they're nice. I had to buy one tool just so I could do my dad's brakes one time. The only place I could find it was on the Snap-on website. Okay. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
Snap-on, if you like tools and you can walk into a Snap-on tool truck, I heard the Mac tool truck is pretty well the same.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of bait shops in my time, right? Belleville, Toronto, wherever, Fortune shows, OD Tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And then this company, I don't know what the name of the company was. You had a camper size, like a little boulder, like you had at the carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All gutted out. And you had this table in the front. That's it. And all the rest were all gutted out. It had cupboards, shelvings, like pantry size. All that it had rods and everything. And you walk in there like you walk into a traveling bait shop.
Yeah.
And you go to tournaments. Every tournament in town. You go to all the tournaments. You travel to the tournaments, and then you sell baits right on the spot.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
I'm going. Like you said, you didn't talk for 10, 50, 20 minutes. Sitting in the I'm going. I see pictures of people, famous stars, famous anglers signing their pictures or hanging them up on the walls and everything in the frames. I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
And then they turn around and said, "Okay, what do you want? One of each." I mean, they got tools that would be so handy to have.
Yes.
For when you're doing stuff, but you gotta have money for that. I mean,
sometimes you just sitting there, you're going.
But then again, it's nice to have the tools, but it's nice to have the knowledge to be able to do something without the specialized tools.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they're making all these some companies doing it like Snap-on, Mastercraft doing it now. You can buy a kit. It does it all in one shot. You take the head off.
They've always had that. Like when you first start, and the Snap-on guy shows up, he's got all these shiny little tools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're the first time mechanic, and then he flashes this shit, and he's got the books and everything, and it's like, okay, what do you want, right? And because the old mechanics, for the most part, it's better for you to have your own tools, right?
Yeah, a lot of guys in the back of the trucks.
Like if it's a specialized tool, yeah. But if it's like just a regular ratchet or whatever,
yeah,
here's your kit, and they give you a kit, and then these kits are like thousands of bucks. Okay.
Yeah.
That's including a cabinet, right? A tool chest. It's a nice shiny little tool chest that says
Yeah.
Snap on,
Red and Snap on.
and it has red, blue, green, orange, pink. You name it. They got all kinds of different colors.
Yeah.
The greenish color, I like the greenish color they've had because it's a nice green. The blue is really nice. It's a dark blue. You know what I mean? It's
What?
nice.
What about the red?
I'm not too keen on the red.
I know you're more of a dark colored person.
I like the dark blues. I'm like my dad. I'm into the blue. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can get a toolkit. You know what I mean? $1,000 some, but they take it. It's deducted off of your pay, right? Because you pay for your tools. But your first check is not going to go all tools. What they do is, I think some places what they do is they'll buy it, pay the Snap-on dude, and then you pay so much you pay
Yeah.
till you pay it off. And then when you've done that, then you can pay, different tools or whatever. You know what I mean? Just
I
like
see.
Milwaukee. Milwaukee makes not too bad tools. But, you know what I mean? To me, I find them they're overpriced.
Makita was
I mean,
good
you
too.
get yourself Makita. Makita's a nice tool set too, like a new power tools. But again, they're high priced. You know what I mean?
Well, what about the yellow ones? The DeWalt.
The Walt, they'll do you. They just won't last as long as the other ones. Same
What's
thing
your
with Ryobi. Same thing.
Rigid's pretty good.
So rigid, same thing.
What
They're
about
all they all last so much. Like if you constantly using it, right?
yeah? It will.
And you
burn out.
can't afford it, then you get those. And then when you can't afford it, you get either the Milwaukee or
Makita.
Makita or something like that.
You know the King Tire special, Black
Yeah.
and Deckers. Do you know? I don't see that much anymore.
Yeah, Black and Decker I think went under.
What the ones you have in the truck? The black and gray ones.
Uh,
You got the power drill for the boats on your wheels, and the regular bit driver.
that was just a no name one I got at Canadian Tire.
And it works really good too. Nice.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
I still like my Milwaukee's better.
Yeah, the blue ones. Yeah.
Well, yeah, bluish green.
Yeah.
They changed their color, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't
bought this 3.5-inch torque torque wrench, battery powered, right? Amazon, as per Amazon, or I looked on YouTube, and they said, "Oh, it's not powerful enough to take off lug nuts." Bull crap! I
works
bought
good.
it. I used it. It worked. It took off nuts. You know what I mean? I don't know what people are expecting. If you want power, you get air. You know what I mean? Go get yourself some nice Ingersoll Rand stuff. You get a nice air compressor. That'll rip off anything. You know what I mean? Pretty well. You get your 1/2-inch Ugga in there, and it'll take care of stuff. I mean, air is the way to go. It's either that or you get a, 120 volt powered thing there. You plug it into the wall. Battery power is not the end all be all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I had a shop there, I'd have air tools.
Yeah.
You get battery powered, but I'd still have the air tools because you know what? Air tools are still superior to power. You know what I mean? From what I've seen, people have trouble with some of the battery powered sometimes, especially when it's the battery is below a certain percentage.
Yeah.
There ain't no percentage unless your air compressor ain't pumping.
I have a DeWalt battery
Mm-hmm.
drill. I don't know where it is. Somewhere put away. I don't use it anymore because every time I use it, it's dead right away.
Mm-hmm. That's the battery. See, that's the problem with the battery. Eventually, they go bad.
Have you ever watched a video online where when the guy got two batteries together and charges together?
Yeah. What happens is with these batteries, if they go below a certain percentage, they won't charge anymore. So what you got to do is you got to take another battery, connect it to this battery till it gets to a certain percentage, then it'll charge.
Okay.
Smart battery chargers are stupid. Excuse me. So if you have a 12-volt, car battery that doesn't want to charge, you got to hook up another battery to it, and once it senses charge, because what it does is it makes sure that you don't put it in wrong, right?
Yeah.
It's a battery charger for the stupid, so they want to make sure that you hook it up right, but they
Yeah.
can't tell if you have no battery power. They can't tell. They can't tell
Mhm.
what side is what. So
It's like
when you attach another battery, then it knows. Oh, okay, and then it'll start charging, and then you can disconnect that other battery from it, and then you can still charge. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you know that guy from Norway for
Yeah.
F6.
Yeah.
He took a battery from a real charger battery. He put wires on it and he hooked it to his truck battery. It was dead on his property.
Mm-hmm.
And then first he went in, he turned it, nothing came on. Then he put the battery on there, went back in the truck, turned it up. The check engine light came on. He goes, "Look, it works."
Yeah, it's a battery. It doesn't matter what it is, but the thing is, it's something that small will not have the cranking power to crank over a truck. Technically, it's the cold cranking apps because it's got to be powerful enough to move over a big starter and a big engine.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of compression there.
Yep.
Right? So,
anyways,
in theory, it'll work.
Yeah.
In practice, not so much. I'm sure it'll work. Like, if it's a brand new, fully charged,
then again, it's
more than 12-volt battery, you should be able to do it.
Yeah. Then again, it's Facebook Reels.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I mean,
I don't know what because he goes into the front of the truck and shows us he hooks the battery up to the little battery, and then he goes in front of inside the cab, and then we don't see what's in the front. We might have hooked up a big battery to it. We don't know.
Well, I mean, people do it for views.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't, like we do this, we're not no show and tell, no nothing, no magic, whatever.
Yeah.
And we just hope people watch it. If people don't watch it, oh well, that's so be it. I mean, we want people to watch it, but I mean, it's not the way it is.
We just had 2 people show up on Facebook tonight.
Well, we had 3 at one point, but I think that was either you or the wife.
Yeah, there was me and your wife, and then Paul Essie. So
right
anyway,
now it says there's 2 people.
Yeah, right now on my side it says 1.
I got 2.
Okay.
Probably 1 each.
Yeah. So, well.
Or 1 each. 1 Facebook, 1 Twitch.
Okay, and probably that Twitch guy you saw you get more views.
Well, he hasn't said anything yet, so
I know. Probably, yeah. Well, anyways, it's almost 3:30.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 hours and 30 minutes.
3 hours and 18 to be exact, but that's okay.
So we can call it right now because we got to share our crap.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just upload it to
domain.
There's not gonna be any shorts.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
But I'll just upload it to Spotify and then just relax.
We got Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube are automatically added to the page.
Yeah, then we go to Spotify, which puts it to Amazon Music and Apple and iHeartRadio.
What about what's the other one? Spotify, Apple,
and iHeartRadio.
Amazon, and then you got Amazon.
That's what I said.
Oh.
That's okay. Nobody listens to me anymore. I'm just kidding. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. we got on some topics that that's whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, if you can find a good fishing spot, I mean, there's no reason not to
share it.
to anybody else. I mean, you just make sure you tell people that will actually appreciate the place and not destroy it.
But first of all, before we leave, sometimes I got a spare shopping bag, plastic shopping bag, because if I'm fishing offshore, I go to the area, I see the shoreline, and I see line on the ground. I see plastic bags or minnow bags,
Mm-hmm.
and I put the stuff in the minnow bag. Like I see line, I see a box like this on the ground, open, nothing in it. I put it in the bag, and then I see if I go to the coffee shop,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go to the garbage can.
And the thing too is like you got to leave the place the same or better than you came to it.
Yeah.
Because basically, this is all a place for everybody, and if we ruin it,
We're gonna lose it.
then our kids won't have a place to do it.
Yep. Our next generation, generation,
Yeah.
won't have a spot. No spots. Because we had a spot years ago called Big Water Lake on 655, and the guy bought the land and he put the fence all around the land. Now we can't fish there.
Yeah.
I did it one time. He chased me off.
Yeah, it used to be owned by the mine.
Yeah.
Kid Creek.
Yes, something like that.
Mine.
Your dad would say something like that. Years ago.
It was when it was Texas Gulf.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they call it the Texas Gulf Highway. It's because the company that owned the Kid mine in the met site used to be called Texas Gulf.
Yeah, and then some people
There was
still
a
call
plane crash and then killed all the executives. So basically, it got sold to, sold a couple of times, and now it's owned by Glencore, and possibly going to be sold to somebody else.
Yes.
Because
But-
Glencore is due to close the mine in the next December. but it's still valuable property to somebody.
Yeah. So
We'll see what happens.
if someone says, "Where are you heading to?" I'm going down TT Highway. Anybody in our time knows.
Yeah,
What
they
do
still
you
call it. They still somewhat call it the Texas Gulf Highway.
Yeah, GT
So
Highway
the
sometimes
section between Timmins,
to
right,
Kaufman.
the 101, all the way to the mine is called TG Highway.
Okay. But actually, it's 655.
Yeah, it's 655.
Okay,
yeah.
guys. All right, guys.
All right, we're gonna leave it at that.
So we're getting a little late there, and like I said, we got to upload some stuff because sometimes iHeartRadio takes forever.
Yeah. Well, we can just share it tomorrow, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we can do that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm just gonna upload it to Spotify, and then I don't know. We don't need to describe this right now.
No.
Anyway, we're gonna leave you at that. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Concedo.
And I'm Sean Boy, and thanks for coming in for this episode of the Two Canadian Bro podcast.
There you go. Got it this time, brother. All right.